Learfield Directors Cup for the top college athletic programs for the 2025-26 college athletics season? Check out the criteria and follow the year-long standings of your favorite team at L Directors Cup on the X platform or online at thedirectorscup.com. Trophies will be awarded in June 2026 to the winning institutions in all college sports divisions. The Learfield Directors Cup, powered by NACDA, the crowning achievement in college athletics.
It's time to hear the pregame thoughts of head coach Danny Sprinkle. Presented by Banner Bank. Get the award-winning financial services you deserve at Banner Bank. Earning your business since 1890. Banner Bank. Member FDIC.
All right, we continue to count you down to tip off from Waco, Texas, as the Huskies get their first road test of the season against a very good team in the Baylor Bears. Pre-game conversation with head coach Danny Sprinkle, brought to you by Banner Bank. Coach, your thought on how this team has come together through the first two games of the regular season, being the Huskies?
Yeah, I'm proud of them. I think we've gotten better. Yeah, there's obviously things we need to work on, but some of the stuff that we've been stressing since we were able to go 5-on-5 in the last 10 days is really improving. From the UNLV to the Boise State scrimmage, we improved, and then from Boise through the first two games, I think there's some things that we're doing a lot better. Now we're going to get tested tonight. Our transition defense is going to get tested. Our ability to keep guys in front and keep them out of the middle is going to get tested, and I'm excited to see how our guys respond.
All right, on the offensive end, you wanted to play with more tempo so far this year. Now, as the level of competition raises, what are some of the challenges in trying to execute that sort of offense?
Yeah, you got to get stops. You can't be taking the ball out of the net. When we do, they're going to be picking us up and pressing us, and we can't be on our heels. Even if they do score, we got to be able to attack in our press offense and get the ball to the paint. All night we have to take advantage of our size. They have speed and quickness and size and length too, but we still have to execute what we have to do, and we have to control tempo on the road. Let's
talk about stylistically. What do you get whenever you take on a Coach Drew team and Baylor? What are they trying to do from a schematic standpoint?
Yeah, athleticism and aggressiveness. I think they play really fast on offense. They try to score in the first 8 to 12 seconds of the possession. The first open shot they're taking. They put a lot of pressure on you by pitch aheads and shooting threes, or they're pitching the ball ahead and they're getting the ball to the paint. And so we have to do a great job of not fouling, especially early in the game. And then like a lot of these teams, man, they put that ball on the rim and it's a free-for-all. Like they're sending 4 guys to the offensive glass, and you don't just have to box them out. You got to go get it. And that's one thing we stressed. We got to box out, but then you got to beat them to the basketball too.
Mm-hmm. You had to really rebuild your roster in the offseason. Man, so did they. They got a McDonald's All-American, and they got all transfers. Literally nobody back from last year. Personnel-wise, when you look at them, who stands out?
Yeah, I mean, all of them. Obviously, number 5, Obi, their point guard, tremendous shooter. He's got great length and quickness. But then you look at, Tunde, the freshman, the McDonald's All-American, super aggressive, unbelievable athlete, but just, super talented scorer. And then Cameron Carr, the kid, he's been shooting the heck out of it. And they put a ton of pressure on you, and, Skillings and Rataj at the 4-5 spot. They cause a problem because they're both pretty much like big threes. They're 6'8" threes, and so their skill level, really makes it hard on your post to guard.
Washington will win this game if you do what?
If we score and get back in transition, we have to do a tremendous job executing offensively. We got to get the ball to the paint. We got to get to the free throw line to slow the game down, and then defensively, we got to be able to keep guys in front and rebound.
Personally, third game of the season, first week of the year. You got John Rothstein tweeting about your game tonight. Do you like playing a game this big this early?
I love it, and I'm hoping our players relish in that. And I told them, we got to find some joy in this. Like they got to have fun doing this. It's on ESPN. Like this is why you come play at Washington. This is why you come play at the Big Ten Conference. And so it's a heck of a challenge, coming on the road. Like you said, they got a new team and we got a new team. And now it's going to come down to who produces right and does what they have to do to win for 40 minutes.
All right, good luck, Coach.
You bet. Go Dogs.
At Banner Bank, we're big Husky fans, so we want you to know you can win big every day at Banner with the award-winning financial services you deserve from people you can trust. Visit any Banner Bank branch or find us at bannerbank.com and see why Banner Bank was named one of America's best regional banks by Newsweek and one of the 100 best banks in America by Forbes for the 8th year in a row. Banner Bank. Game-changing service, no trick plays. Banner Bank. Member FDIC.
It takes hard work to be the best in the game. Planning, commitment, resilience, sweat. That's why Old Dominion Freight Line, the #1 national LTL carrier for quality, works hard to be the best in the game and is proud to support those striving to be the best in theirs. Old Dominion Freight Line, official freight carrier of Washington Athletics, helping the world keep promises.
Look, I'm not going to tell you how to live your life, but if you're a UW fan like me and you haven't switched your phone service to Husky Mobile, you're passing up a slam dunk. Here's the deal. You get exclusive game day perks, and Husky Mobile contributes to UW Athletics every time you pay your monthly bill. No contract, no hidden fees, no reason to wait. Switch now to the only phone plan built for Husky Nation and on the T-Mobile 5G network. Visit GoHuskyMobile.com. That's GoHuskyMobile.com.
The official airline of the Washington Huskies is your window to the world. Introducing Atmos Rewards, a new loyalty program by Alaska Airlines and Hawaiian Airlines. It's the #1 airline rewards program, according to U.S. News & World Report, and your invitation to explore over 1,000 global destinations with over 30 airline partners, including oneworld. Go to atmosrewards.com to sign up and start your journey today. That's atmosrewards.com.
Go Huskies!
NBA 3, got it! Dumps it down the reverse slam, punishes the rim with the right hand.
This is UW basketball from Learfield.
For years now, Sunset Ford's been telling you the truth about pricing. That all Ford dealers pay exactly the same from the factory for their new vehicles, to the penny. And absolutely no Ford dealer has a competitive advantage in price over any other Ford dealer. Those are the facts, irrefutable. However, some dealers can in fact sell for less. How? Logic and simple economics. If a dealer has a lower cost of doing business, they can offer you lower prices. Let's say there's a big city Ford dealership with a modern multi-million-dollar facility and an army of employees. That's huge overhead. The other has exactly the same Ford inventory that they paid exactly the same amount for, but their dealership is in a place like Sumner. You tell me, what dealer can save you money and include warranty protection for life and oil changes for life? Truth is, no Ford dealer anywhere can get you a new Ford for less than Sunset Ford of Sumner.
You just get more at Sunset Ford.
And people do like that.
They're really competing in the right way.
We're competing every day, getting each other better.
Kepson goes up, throws it in, plus a foul.
Having deeper talent, it makes you better in practice. You can't take a day off. If you take a day off, you get exposed.
Pirouettes and lays it in. What a move by Zoom Diallo.
That's just going to be a testament for what we do this year.
Now it's go time.
What a win. Gritty to the end.
It's game time on the Washington Sports Network from Learfield. Let's go courtside for all the action. Alongside Jason Hamilton, here's the voice of the Huskies, Tony Castricone.
We're down in the Lone Star State tonight for a big non-conference men's basketball matchup between the Washington Huskies, off to a 2-0 start under second-year head coach Danny Sprinkle, and the Baylor Bears, who are top 25 in Ken Palm's ratings, receiving votes in the AP and the coaches poll, and led by a national championship head coach in Scott Drew. Down in the Lone Star State, where there are many stars on the court tonight. For the Washington Huskies, a handful of players who played really well, shining in their new roles here with this newly built team. Baylor in a very similar situation. They graduated 4 players from last year's NCAA tournament team. They had 1 transfer out to BYU. They had 1 transfer to the NBA in the first round of the draft. But Jason Hamilton, there is no doubt that even though it's November, there is March energy in this building.
There absolutely is, and I think you expect that. The band is playing. It's fired up. National television broadcast for this Washington Husky squad, and I'm sure there's a little bit of nervousness, but that's to be expected. You still got to come out, though, and compete for 40 minutes.
We'll get to the starting lineups and the opening tip-off when we continue in a moment, live from Waco, Texas, and Foster Pavilion on the Washington Sports Network from Learfield.
For UW fans, Saturdays are purple and gold. And at the greatest setting in college football, connection is everything. T-Mobile delivers the best network. Whether you're sailgating from the lake or streaming from across the country, we've got more towers, a signal that goes farther, and the most advanced 5G. That's why purple reigns on the best network. T-Mobile, it's better over here.
Best mobile network in the U.S. according to Ookla Speed Test 1H 2025.
When you're on the move and looking for nonstop college sports action, get the Varsity Network app and take the game with you everywhere. Stream live play-by-play from schools across the country right from your phone, free. Catch hundreds of weekly podcasts, including shows from your favorite teams, all in one place. From football Saturdays to midweek hoops, it's your all-access pass to the college sports world. Whether it's game day or just your daily drive, the Varsity Network app has you covered. Download now and listen live for free on the Varsity Network app.
Raise a glass to the dogs with the new Husky Craft Pack. Brimming with Pacific Northwest flavor, enjoy a lineup of amazing local brews and ciders at Husky Stadium. Georgetown Brewing, run by dogs who make sure you have darn tasty beer. Two Town Cider, crafted in the Pacific Northwest since 2010. And Seattle's Elysian Brewing Company, makers of Space Dust and 30 years of bold flavors and award-winning beers. Get the greatest of local beers all season long at the greatest setting in college football. Please drink responsibly.
Your home for Husky hoops.
Now three, swish! Gets to the rim, draws the foul, kissed it home +1.
The Washington Sports Network from Learfield.
A true teammate takes on every day with a winner's attitude, gets up when they fall down, and leaves it all on the field. There's a group of teammates who do all these things every single day. But they're more than your typical athlete. They're kids facing unthinkable medical circumstances. Team Impact matches children facing serious illness and disability with college sports teams, creating a long-term, life-changing experience for everyone involved. Join us in the movement to get all kids in the game. Visit teamimpact.org to learn more. Team Impact. All in, all together.
Aw, shucks. The game's on TV, but I can't listen to the call of my favorite team broadcasters.
Never fear. Sync My Game is here.
Sync My Game?
Yes, Sync My Game. If you have a DVR and streaming device, head to syncmygame.com from Learfield. It's never been easier to hear the impassioned voices of your favorite radio crew synced with the TV.
Wow, thank you, Mr.
Just remember, syncmygame.com.
Go from Foster Pavilion in Waco, Texas. The 2-0 Huskies and the 1-0 Baylor Bears going toe-to-toe to wrap up the first weekend of the college basketball season. And it's time for Simply Seattle's Dog of the Game. Basketball season's officially here, and Simply Seattle's got your Huskies gear ready for tip-off. Officially licensed hats, t-shirts, outerwear, and more. Find them at U-Village or online at simplyseattle.com. Get in the game. Who's the dog of the game, Jay Ham?
Well, for me, it's J.J. Mandequit, and the reason I say that, after 2 games, 15 assists, just 6 turnovers, but the pressure, the length, and the size of Baylor is going to really test the young freshman having to handle the basketball. He's got to have that poise, Tony, that we talked about. Run the team and still run it with efficiency like he's done the last 2 games.
What? Huh? You feel that in your chest?
It's loud.
It is rocking in here as we get ready for the starting lineups for today's game. And we'll start with the visiting Washington Huskies, who are 2-0 under second-year head coach Danny Sprinkle. 15-18 in his time on Montlake. 124-68 is his overall record. You mentioned J.J. Mandequit, your dog of the game. He's averaging 7.5 points, 3 rebounds, and 7.5 assists per game in his young time as a Washington Husky. Coming off the ball, the Texas native from Beaumont, Wesley Yates III, averaging 13.5 points, 3 rebounds per game. Be interesting to see if they can get Wesley going. I know this is a very important game for him with a lot of family in attendance. Bryson Tucker, the Indiana transfer, who's nearly averaging a double-double, is at the 3. Hannes Steinbach, the freshman from Germany, is averaging a double-double. 17 points, 11.5 6.5 rebounds a game. He's at the 4. And young Lathan Somerville, sophomore from Peoria, Illinois, getting his first start as a Washington Husky underneath the basket. Meanwhile, for the Baylor Bears, led by Scott Drew in his 24th year here in Waco, 485 wins, 270 losses. This is a team with a lot of similar bodies in the starting lineup. The point guard is Obi Agbim, a 6'3 senior guard from Aurora, Colorado, and then 3 other players in the starting lineup, all standing at 6'6". Tunde Yesufu is the freshman. He averaged, he scored 24 points, had 7 rebounds in the opener. They got other athletic wings as well. Cameron Carr is 6'5", 28 points, 5 rebounds in the opener. Dan Skillings is a senior from New Jersey, 15 points, 9 boards in the first game of the season. And it'll be Michael Ratai, if that name sounds familiar, the German from Oregon State. He's got a lot of history against the Huskies from when those two teams met in Pac-12 conference play. He will get the start at the 5 for the Baylor Bears today. Huskies are wearing their home white Adidas jerseys for what's a blackout here at Baylor today. And the Bears, under this green tint that we have from the LED lighting, I believe they're coming out in green jerseys. I can't really tell.
I don't think you can tell with the green lighting in here. It could be an off gray, it could be green, and it is green. Green gray? I don't know.
Let's call it a gray.
It's gray.
With gold lettering and green trim as well. And the bass is thumping here in Waco. Doug Sermons, Brooks Wells, and Roger Ayers, our officiating crew for today. A veteran crew for a big-time game to wrap up week number 1 of the college basketball season. They're tuned in from coast to coast, and we're glad you're tuned in with us here tonight. Hannes Steinbach at center circle for the opening tip-off. Opposite Cameron Carr for the gray-clad Baylor Bears. Standing on the big, bold BU green logo at center circle. Student section is out in full force. Ball gets lifted into the air, and the Bears control the opening tab. We are opposite a TV. Our vantage point, it's right to left as they come into the front court, and the Huskies step out in a man-to-man defense. So it's Agbim from the top, throwing it to Skillings, top of the key, drives on Steinbach, gets to the rim, and it's swatted out of bounds by the German. Hannes Steinbach rejects it into the student section, 14 to shoot.
Yeah, you could absolutely tell that Skillings thought he had an easy lane to get that all the way to the bucket, scooped it up with one hand, but Hannes said, no, not on me.
14 on the shot clock as Baylor resets from right of the rim, and the Husky defense looks locked in here in the early going. Agbim will slap the ball and lob it to Carr at the right elbow. Return it to Agbim, who's got it high on the right side, defended by the freshman J.J. Mandequit. He throws it away right into the breadbasket of Bryson Tucker, who brings the ball into the front court, and the Huskies get a stop on the opening possession of the game. J.J. Mandequit, the freshman from Hawaii, has got the ball between the rings, gives it to Somerville, now handed back to Mandequit, who drives right of the lane, lost the pumpkin, and it's turned over into the hands of Michael Ratai and the Baylor Bears. Ratai straight up the floor himself. The 6'8 forward brings it into the front court and tosses back to Agbim, who sets things up for the Bears. Both teams with an early turnover, maybe some nerves here off the opening tap for both teams, and now a dribble drive, whistle and a foul coming against Washington.
Cameron Carr over there on the wing, quick to put it on the floor, super athletic transfer from Tennessee. He's got a lot of skill, Tony, and he's the person I think that Washington has to really keep their eye on.
Plays above the rim and had 28 points in that first game of the season against UT Rio Grande Valley. Inbounds to Skillings out of the corner, finds Ratai wide open for 3, thumped it off the back of the rim. Volleyballing the loose ball, it's going to go out of bounds and back to the Washington Huskies.
Nice athleticism there. You see 3 Huskies going high, including Bryson Tucker, Hannes Steinbach, and J.J. Mandequit.
Dogs valuing every loose ball in the first 62 seconds of the game. Bounce right side, Wesley Yates takes the basketball, bounces for Somerville, and now it's Mandequit on the left wing, bringing it head of the circle. To Steinbach, right side, Wesley Yates with the rock. Behind the Steinbach screen, terminates the dribble, finds Somerville out top, feeds the post, and Steinbach had been ripped to the ground by a Baylor Bear. It's going to be Agbim, the guard, that picks up the foul.
Yeah, he was caught behind the larger Steinbach at 6'11", and Hannes Steinbach just says, hey, give me the ball. if I got a foot in the lane, this is an all-day-long situation on the switch.
All right, scoreless here in the first half. Nearly a minute and a half into the game as Mandequit looks for a teammate. He needs to get it in, lobs it for Somerville, who barely keeps it in bounds, chucks it to Wesley Yates, who is trapped in the corner but does a good job of holding on to the possession. Now attacks the glass. Wesley Yates pumps it up with the right hand and gets the first 2 points on the board.
I love it. Danny Sprinkle was right in front of us, and he just turned to him and said, attack. It's exactly what Wesley Yates was able to do there.
Who really sparked the Huskies in the first half last time out against Denver, and he helps Washington get the first 2 points of this ball game here on the road. It quiets the crowd in Waco. Agbem goes right side. Yesafu for 3, thumped it, and a rebound by Bryson Tucker, who's been dynamite on the glass. Throws it away. It's picked off Yesafu for 3. Too strong. Rebound Tucker. He gets a second crack at it. Brings it across the timeline into the front court for the Huskies. Tucker defended by Yesafu in the man-to-man defense for Baylor, and he sets up from high on the right. Gets it to the freshman point guard, J.J. Mandequit, puts horns in the air, and now behind a screen from Somerville, sets the offense into motion. Steinbach out top, left side to Yates. Yates will post up Somerville on the left baseline, trying to back his way in with 6 on the shot clock. Into the paint. Baby hook with the right hand. Good for Lathan Somerville. Huskies up 4-0.
Yeah, look at that. Lathan Somerville, who wanted the ball early in the possession, didn't get it, but was able to reestablish his post position, and that baby jump hook, very soft.
Crossover, Ratai to the rim, and a foul on Hannes Steinbach. And that was all created by a nice, dangerous crossover dribble at the top of the key that cooked Somerville.
Yeah, I was going to say, Somerville's got to be able to stay in front right there because you see the rotation. Hannes Steinbach had to come over, comes over late. He's not a guy you want to get into foul trouble. I know it's just his first.
And the second on the team after Tucker picked up the first one. We've got the student section immediately behind us, and they've got the thunder sticks. That's what you're hearing as Michael Ratai goes to the free throw line. 6'8" senior guard from Augsburg, Germany. And it gets suddenly extremely quiet as Ratai knocks in the first points of the ball game for the Bears. He's just 3 of 7 at the free throw line this year, and the Huskies bring in their first line change. Mandequit and Yates come out. Zoom Diallo and Kimari Peterson onto the floor for the first time. Second free throw on the way for the senior, who spent last year at Oregon State, first team All WCC a season ago for the Beavers, and he splashes home the second free throw. 4-2 lead for the Huskies. Almost 2.5 minutes into the ball game. Diallo across the timeline gives it Kimari Peterson, a dangerous three-point shooter. Steinbach up top, gives it to Peterson, and now they'll post up Somerville again. Lowers the shoulder, spin move, whistle, blocking foul, and the continuation. They'll give it to Lathan Somerville. Counted and one, low on the right block, and the crowd hates the call.
So unless the rules have changed, I didn't know continuation was allowed in college basketball, but boy, Ratai tried to pick up the charge. It was a clear block, certainly, especially the way Somerville spun off. Great move by Lathan. Did not expect them to count the bucket.
Somerville, an elite free throw shooter, 8 of 9 this year, make it 9 of 10 after knocking that one home. And a quick start for the Huskies, up 7-2 in hostile territory down in the Lone Star State. Agbim across the timeline on the BU logo, defended by Kimari Peterson, who is the SoCon's Defensive Player of the Year. Here's a jam from Caden Powell, 6'9" senior center from Waco, checked in, and he got behind the defense.
Yeah, Lathan Somerville once again tried to hedge high, and just a slip screen right there from Powell.
Zoom Diallo blanketed out top. Bounce goes to Peterson between the rings. Dribble drive, penetrates high off the glass, and good. Kimari Peterson, such a smooth offensive player. 9-4 Dogs.
Yeah, he took advantage right there. Ogden, again, smaller, slight at 6 foot. The big body of Peterson able to bump him off.
Agbem has the ball out top, give it right side. Skilling squares up for 3, too strong. Whistle and a foul on the floor. They're going to get Somerville, so that's 3 now on the Huskies. Both bigs have 1.
Yeah, Somerville with 2 hands and a straight shove right there. Easy call for the official. You extend those arms. There's not a chance the officials are going to miss that.
Baylor is 0 for 4 from the outside. They went 11 of 30 in the opener.
Hey, defensively, Washington's been pretty good, especially in contest on the perimeter.
Fouls starting to rack up at the third one. for Washington, and now the inbounds comes to Cameron Carr, athletic, give it out top to Skillings, who's going to drive and kick into the corner. Agben for 3, 0 for 5. Weak side rebound, grabbed by Powell, goes back up, reverse layup, no good. Tipped around, rebound, Hannes Steinbach for the Huskies. Dogs up 9-4, and they're running into the front court. It's Peterson high on the right side, defended by Agben. Give it right side to Wesley Yates, who checked into the dead ball. Frank Kepnong, his first touch of the game. Yates wants to float it down to Steinbach, ball knocked out of bounds. It's going to stay with Washington, 17 on the shot clock, and 15:58 for the first half when we continue in a moment. Dogs are here to play. Down in Waco, it's Washington 9, Baylor 4 on the Washington Sports Network from Learfield.
At Banner Bank, we're big Husky fans, so we want you to know you can win big every day at Banner with the award-winning financial services you deserve from people you can trust. Visit any Banner Bank branch or find us at bannerbank.com and see why Banner Bank was named one of America's best regional banks by Newsweek and one of the 100 best banks in America by Forbes for the 8th year in a row. Banner Bank. Game-changing service, no trick plays. Banner Bank. Member FDIC.
Look, I'm not going to tell you how to live your life, but if you're a UW fan like me and you haven't switched your phone service to Husky Mobile, you're passing up a slam dunk. Here's the deal. You get exclusive game day perks, and Husky Mobile contributes to UW Athletics every time you pay your monthly bill. No contract, no hidden fees, no reason to wait. Switch now to the only phone plan built for Husky Nation and on the T-Mobile 5G network. Visit GoHuskyMobile.com. That's GoHuskyMobile.com.
Around here, it's all or nothing. That's why Toyota has more all-wheel drive choices, like Camry. Now through December 1st, get 4.99 APR financing on new 26 Camrys. Or lease a new 26 Camry LE with all-wheel drive for $329 a month for 39 months with $32.99 due at signing. With approved credit through TFS. Tax, title, and license extra. A negotiable doc fee of up to $200 may be added. Call 1-888-48-TOYOTA for details or go to Toyota.com. Toyota. Let's go places.
Huskies with a 9-4 lead on the road against Baylor. Tonight's game brought to you by UW Medicine, the only health system in Washington that directly connects care with a top-rated medical school and a research powerhouse. UW Medicine, a higher degree of health care. We have enjoyed our trip to Waco. Baylor's been very hospitable, so hospitable they even provided us with their engineer, Bob Baker, helping us out. He's normally turning the dials for the Bears, but he's good enough to step over and help out the visitors for this game, who have not treated the home team very nicely here from the opening jump. Now, Huskies out to a 9-4 lead, but the shooting disparity, the big difference.
Totally. And Bob said that he lost a bet. That's why he got stuck with us.
I drew the short straw, huh?
Yeah, no, it's interesting the way that the Huskies are shooting it right now. 4 of 4 from the floor. How about the Baylor Bears? A 1 of 10, Tony. It's just not something that you see very often early in a ball game. But that being said, Washington only up 5 with those statistics.
So, 15:58 to go in this first half. Washington shooting the ball well, winning the rebounding battle, something that we're going to have to keep an eye on as this game goes on because, like you said, the shooting's not going to keep up, but the rebounding could. And if you're able to be that aggressive on the glass against this athletic of the Baylor team, that bodes well.
Yeah, and that has to be something that Danny Sprinkle and the staff are talking about. And you see the athleticism above the rim, how both of these teams are really competing in the paint for those loose balls. So you got Big Frank in there right now because of the foul on Lathan Somerville. He's got to be a rebounder with this lineup.
Lathan Somerville got the start, played pretty well. 5 points and +5 in his time on the floor. The 5 the Huskies are going to run with now be Peterson, Diallo, Yates, Kepnong, and Steinbach. Huskies will inbound the basketball with a 5-point lead. It'll be Zoom Diallo trying to get it in over Caden Powell, the athletic 6'9" senior center, local product from Waco. And the inbound's deflected out of bounds. It'll stay with Washington, but Danny Sprinkle didn't like maybe the choice there.
Yeah, and he's switching out Zoom Diallo for Kimari Peterson on the inbounds right now.
Peterson will get it into Diallo high on the right. Now the Husky offense sets up with 13 on the shot clock. Diallo head of the circle, lobs it in the corner. Peterson, catch and shoot 3. Half halfway down. Offensive rebound, Kepnong throws it in from the right block, and the Huskies are up by 7.
Absolutely throws it in. That was a line drive above the rim from about 3 feet. Nice job from Frank to get that loose ball rebound.
Baylor in the other direction. Skillings with the ball between the rings, defended by Steinbach. They'll push it back out to Cameron Carr. A dynamite athlete, has it at the right point. Steps top of the key. Work it right side. Isaac Williams, first touch of the ball game. Dribble drive right of the painted area. Pushed out by Diallo. 7 on the shot clock. Get it to Carr out of the corner. He's trapped there. Now rises and fires a 3. Air ball caught on the weak side by Powell. Put it back up and in +1. The foul on Frank Kepnong on the left side.
A cheap foul from Frank. He just out of position, got spun around, and instead of being able to locate the basketball, he kind of just pirouetted right into a foul on Powell.
Baylor 0 of 8 from 3-point range to open this game.
And having the chance to take a look at the replay, Frank Kepnong didn't even leave the ground on that one. Like I said, he was lost as that ball did not hit the rim.
The opportunity for a 3-point play coming from Caden Powell, who shoots and hits. And the Huskies are up 11-7 as they go back on offense with Zoom Diallo bringing the ball into the front court. Dogs weathering the storm of early energy from this hostile crowd down in Waco. Diallo has it high on the left side, defended by the McDonald's All-American. And Skimari Peterson giving it to Yates right side. Behind the back dribble, goes to work from the logo. The Big 12 logo, dumps it to Diallo, steps into a long 2, missed it, over the back, Frank Kepnong. That's his second and only a minute on the floor.
Yeah, fouls are piling up now for the bigs. You got 2 on Frank, 1 on Hannes, and 1 on Lathan.
And you don't have Jacob Agnasevich with the broken foot, so Somerville's going to come back into the ball game at the next dead ball. Yesufu has it out top. Handoff goes Ratai, and now it's Powell between the rings, defended by Frank Kepnong. He's got those early 2 fouls. 11-7, the Husky advantage. Here's Carr high on the left side. Huskies are going to hedge as Carr tries to accelerate. And there's already foul number 6 in this first half. It's going to go on Zoom Diallo, his first.
They're giving Carr a shooting foul here. I thought it was before he went up, but the referee saw it differently.
Well, a lot of continuation offered on both ends.
Well, not to mention, like you said, 16 fouls now, 14:32 to go in this first half, and Baylor just 1 foul away from Washington to be in the bonus.
Carr shoots and hits the first of 2. And yeah, I mean, with that being number 6, they will be shooting the rest of the half on any foul other than a player control.
Well, and that's a shame because the way that Baylor's shooting from the outside, I mean, you don't want to give them free opportunities to score points.
Or get in their rhythm shooting the basketball. As the second opportunity comes for Carr, he eyes and hits. 11-9, Washington up by 2. But could have really used a good, clean, crisp offensive possession here. This is reminiscent of Salt Lake City, how loud it gets down here at floor level. You can really feel the PA system in your chest when you're down here on the floor in Waco. JJ Mandequit back into the ball game, zips it to Kamari Peterson right side. Looking inside and back out top to Mandequit. Now it's Yates, fumbles it, regathers, back to Mandequit with 11 on the shot clock. Mandequit against the Baylor man-to-man defense. Little jab step. Double team comes. Ball lifted into the air, knocked away. Here comes Yesufu. He'll slam it home. We're tied at 11. Now comes the poise. Washington must settle into this game. The energy has been captured by Baylor for now. Somerville back to the basket, 19 feet out. Gives it to Wesley Yates, right side. Zips it to Mandequit, left side. Peterson, pump fake on a 3. Gets to the left baseline, back out to Mandequit. He's got it at the top of the key with 6. 5 on the shot clock. Peterson, left side. Little shimmy shake. Needs help. 2, 1. Mandequit, top of the key. 3. Rattles out. Rebound. Jarred loose. And picked up by Steinbach, who slams it home. That was forced by Kamari Peterson. The rebound grabbed by Isaac Williams for Baylor, but he had his pocket picked by number 0.
Boy, that was a huge play because the momentum was shifting all to Baylor. The crowd was into it.
Williams up with the left hand, high off the glass, missed the shot. Rebound Hannes Steinbach. It's 5 on 4 for the Huskies into the front court. Peterson, pull up 3. rattles out. Offensive rebound. Somerville, who goes tumbling. Powell crashed into him, and it'll be a foul on the Baylor Bears with 13:05 to go in the first half, and the Dogs up by 2.
And you know what? I love that shot from Kimari Peterson. You know what? He just made a big defensive play to get the tip off over to Hannah Steinbach for the dunk, and then comes right back. And, you know, yes, it's a heat check shot, but for a guy that is a prolific scorer, if you're Danny Sprinkle, that is all day long green light.
13:05 to go here in this first half. And J.J. Mandequit lobs it to Somerville at the left elbow. Handoff goes Wesley Yates, the Texas product. Backs off for a 3. Missed it wide right. Tipped around and grabbed by Baylor. Yesufu flies in the front court. Pocket picked. Mandequit comes up with the basketball. Straight to the rim. Extends the right hand and kissed it home. And the Huskies are up 4.
Yeah, nice play again. Everybody getting back on defense. Still being active with the hands, Tony. That's what got that ball pop loose.
The Dogs have come up with a couple of steals here in this first half, and both of them have been big. Here's Williams with the ball high on the left side. He offers left wing to Ratai, who drives on Steinbach. German on German there, and Ratai is able to rattle it home.
Yeah, he's got great size. You've got to respect the fact that he can shoot the 3, so you play out on him, and then what does he do? He puts it on the deck and gets to the lane.
15-13, Washington by 2 in an entertaining first half. Wesley Yates, left wing, steps inside the arc. Long 2 on the way. Back of the rim, no. Isaac Williams with the rebound for Baylor. They're off and running. Huskies trying to get that transition D back, and they do. Here's Ratai. Hanging in the air, into the corner. Yesufu for 3, throws a line drive at the front of the rim, missed it. Long rebound goes out of bounds to the front row of fans, and back to the Washington Huskies with 11:54 to go in an up and down, helter-skelter first half. It's the Dogs 15 and the Baylor Bears 13 on the Washington Sports Network from Learfield.
The official airline of the Washington Huskies is your window to the world. Introducing Atmos Rewards, a new loyalty program by Alaska Airlines and Hawaiian Airlines. It's the #1 airline rewards program, according to U.S. News and World Report, and your invitation to explore over 1,000 global destinations with over 30 airline partners, including One World. Go to atmosrewards.com to sign up and start your journey today. That's ATMOS rewards.com.
Dogs of the Big Ten.
Passes in the corner for the lead. Bullseye!
This is Husky basketball from Learfield.
UW Medicine is the only health system in Washington where a top-rated medical school and a research powerhouse are directly connected to your care. That means the doctors caring for you are the same people advancing medical research and teaching the next generation of outstanding physicians. From wellness checks to complex surgeries, we're committed to providing you with the best care every day. UW Medicine, a higher degree of health care.
It takes hard work to be the best in the game. Planning, commitment, resilience, sweat. That's why Old Dominion Freight Line, the #1 national LTL carrier for quality, works hard to be the best in the game and is proud to support those striving to be the best in theirs. Old Dominion Freight Line, official freight carrier of Washington Athletics, helping the world keep promises.
Well, Husky Nation, I'm going to give you a 30-minute heads up on something here. You've got a one-of-a-kind opportunity right now to help welcome home the Big Ten champions. The Washington women's soccer team won the Big Ten tournament championship earlier today in thrilling, exhilarating, emotional fashion over Michigan State, and you can join all of UW in welcoming back the Big Ten tournament champs back to Seattle tonight. At 8:25, they will arrive at the west entrance of Alaska Airlines Field at Husky Stadium, and please show up and show out to support the Husky women's soccer team as they get back home to Seattle with that Big Ten tournament championship trophy. How cool is that?
Yeah, that is super cool. And you and I were having a little pregame meal, watching the penalty kicks. Exciting victory. for those ladies, obviously an emotional one as well.
Yeah, so again, 8:25 p.m., meet them at the west entrance of Husky Stadium and go support the women's soccer team as they come home with a trophy. Tonight's game brought to you by Janet King, the trusted cleaning and disinfecting partner for businesses throughout Washington. From stadiums to offices and more, Janet King is your essential disinfecting service. Go Dogs. How about this start? Washington up by 2 in hostile territory, 15-13 on Baylor.
Well, you know, they played really, really well in the early going. I mean, they don't have a big lead, just 2 points, but, you know, still shooting 54% from the floor, 7 of 13. They're holding Baylor to 29% shooting at the moment. The foul situation's a little concerning, though, if you're Danny Sprinkle. Already 16 fouls, but for the most part, playing hard.
2 against Frank Kepnong. Although, that's not what the stat monitor shows. I thought there were 2 on Kepnong.
Yeah, I mean, he got back-to-back, so they must have given it to somebody else. But.
Interesting. We'll have to get some clarification on that. Washington back with the basketball. J.J. Mandequit into the front court up the right sideline, and he'll throw it out top to Lathan Somerville. Now get it back at the right point. Mandequit finds Somerville high on the left side, defended by Ratai. Handoff goes Tucker to Mandequit. They find Peterson on the right wing with 10 to shoot. Drives the right baseline. Crossover. Spin move. Peterson rise and fire. What touch from Kimari Peterson as he throws it in. He's got 4 and the Dogs lead by as many.
I'm telling you, he looked down at the bench like, this is what I do. You guys are just getting to know my capabilities, but I'm a scorer.
17-13. Huskies ahead by 4. Here's White with the basketball. J.J. White for Baylor. Crossover. Gives it to Skillings, and now Carr in the corner. Back out top to Skillings. The guard comes downhill. Left of the key. Gets away with a walk. Everybody saw it. They don't blow the whistle, and then he hits a turnaround.
Boy, the entire Husky bench was right there trying to get that call from the official, and no go. Tough one.
17-15. Are we on the road or are we on the road? Here's Somerville backing his way in. Fadeaway jumper rattles out. Ball tipped around and won by Tucker. Passes to Mandequit. Angles in. Layup. No. Whistle. A late charge call coming against Mandequit, and that will be his first foul of this first half.
It was the right call, but it certainly was a late call. It looked like Skillings was outside of the restricted area, had his feet set. He was waiting for J.J. Mandequit to enter the lane, and that's a tough one. Ball's inbounded. I don't think everybody realizes game is on.
Yeah, here we go. As you've got Obi Ogbim bringing it into the front court, gives it to White, now gets it back. Ogbim finds White on the left side. He'll drive under the basket, defended by Yates, into the corner. Carr for 3. No. Baylor ice cold from 3. Offensive rebound Ratai, though. He'll clear it out to Skillings, who thinks about a deep one. Instead, crossover on Steinbach and lobs it out to Ogbim, who's defended tightly by Mandequit. A little shimmy shake. Now takes off with the left hand. Throws it inside. Layup is good, +1.
That's going to be on Hannes, and that is going to be 2 on him.
It is indeed. And Baylor's got a chance to take the lead at the free throw line.
Now you can see the pick and roll action for Baylor. They were able to, contain that for the most part. Washington was in the first 10 minutes of this ball game. They continue to go back to it, cycle it back, recycle it until they get a matchup that they like.
Steinbeck coming over, rotating on the help, was a little late to get there. Picks up number 2, and now with 10-10 to go in this first half, may possibly end up sitting for the rest of the half. We'll see how Danny Sprinkle decides to play it. And Michael Ratai hits the free throw. And then there was a little jostling under the basket between Carr and Somerville. I think they'll let him play on.
Yeah. And Somerville's looking like it was nothing. Let's just keep it moving.
So Baylor is 6 of 9 from 2. They are 0 for 8 from 3.
Washington has yet to hit a 3 as well. They're 0 for 4.
Tucker. Now it's Mandequit with the ball high on the right side. Steps into a long 2. And missed it. Good rotation on the shot. A little bit short. Rebound Ratai for the Baylor Bears. 18-17. Baylor with the lead. They haven't had the lead for most of this first half. Ogbim brings it head of the key. Comes downhill. Right of the paint. Dumps it off. Skillings. Reverse layup. Good. Quick release by Skillings as Tucker nearly blocked the shot. Baylor's up by 3.
This is where Washington has to have that poise, Tony.
7-0 run for the Bears. Diallo out top. Kick to Mandequit. Left side for Yates. Back to Mandequit. No working around the perimeter. Diallo pats the top of his head. sets the offense into motion. Dribbles with the left hand into traffic. Triple team. Passes out of it to Mandequit. Feed the post for Tucker. 6 to shoot. Fade away. Mid-range game is good for Bryson Tucker.
Yeah, I love the way that he composed himself right there. He caught the ball and almost fell down. Able to take that dribble to get his feet reset and then hits the fadeaway.
Baylor 20, Washington 19. Other end. Dump it down to Carr. Lost the handle. Ball is loose. Whistle and a foul called on Baylor. Great hustle by multiple Huskies who are diving after the loose ball.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this game is being played at a high level. It's not the cleanest game, but it's being played at a high level.
Washington down 20-19, but going back on offense after the foul against the Baylor Bears. It will be their 4th here in this first half. And Kimari Peterson will get an inbound here from Zoom Diallo. Peterson will run the point here for the Huskies. He gets a play from Danny Sprinkle and now will relay it to his teammates from the BU logo at center court. Frank Kepnong back into the ball game. Bounce it for Zoom Diallo on the right side. Diallo behind a screen from Yates gets down to the right baseline. Throw it out to Yates. Whistle, blocking foul coming against Baylor. That'll be their 5th.
You can see Cameron Carr again tried to sell that. He was a little bit out of position, especially considering Wesley Yates was spinning the other direction. That's what saved Wesley Yates, and that's why the official called the block.
First foul on Carr. So Steinbach is the only player in this game who officially has 2 fouls. Everybody else has 1. Dogs down by 1, 20-19. Kimari Peterson needs help. Finally gets it into Yates on the right side. Yates driving up with the left hand, missed it short, tipped around, grabbed by Skillings for Baylor. Baylor off and running across the timeline. At the top of the key, now angling left wing. Handoff for Carr, zip it pass over to Ogben. He's got it high on the right side, defended by Tucker, dishes it to Carr, who shoots a 3, and there's the first triple of the ball game for the Baylor Bears, and a timeout for Danny Sprinkle. 8:24 to go in the first half. We'll step aside as well as the Baylor Bears are on a 10-2 spurt, and they've taken a 23-19 lead over the Washington Huskies. This is Husky basketball from Learfield.
Angel of the Winds Casino Resort is your base camp for adventure. Experience the best in live entertainment with concerts, comedy shows, and sporting events. Next, take a break at one of our 6 dining venues, including an award-winning steakhouse. Amenities also include free valet, bowling, sports simulators, and your favorite games. Whatever your calling is, know Angel of the Winds Casino Resort is the official escape for the dogs, and we're closer than you think. Learn more and plan your next adventure at angelofthewinds.com.
Raise a glass to the dogs with the new Husky Craft Pack. Brimming with Pacific Northwest flavor, enjoy a lineup of amazing local brews and ciders at Husky Stadium. Georgetown Brewing, run by dogs who make sure you have darn tasty beer. Two Towns Cider, crafted in the Pacific Northwest since 2010. And Seattle's Elysian Brewing Company, makers of Space Dust and 30 years of bold flavors and award-winning beers. Get the greatest of local beers all season long at the greatest setting in college football. Please drink responsibly.
For comprehensive coverage of college basketball, tune to Sirius XM College Sports Radio Channel 84 in the car and on the Sirius XM app.
For the win! Got it! Let's go!
Sirius XM is the home of your favorite team and conference, including live games, plus interviews and analysis.
He's got it!
So cheer along with the Sirius XM app and listen to your favorite team anywhere. Get a free trial at SiriusXM.com/College Sports Radio 2025.
It's Baylor 23, Washington 19 with 8:24 to go in the first half. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. You're listening to Husky basketball from Learfield. Well, Jason, we commented after the Huskies' hot start that the shooting numbers probably wouldn't hold up. Washington started 5 of 6 from the floor. They've made 4 of their last 12. Meanwhile, Baylor started 1 of 9 from the floor. They're 7 for the last 10.
Yeah, it's a game of runs. You got to expect, especially the way that these two teams are competing, that that's going to even itself out over time, and that's exactly what has happened. Right now Washington's just got to weather the storm in their mind. It's the first time with this squad on the road. They've been in a hostile environment. Baylor's starting to ratchet up the tempo a little bit. Washington's got to find a way to score the basketball.
Yeah, this place only holds 7,500 seats, but the way it's designed Like, it's very steep on all four sides of the court. The fans go straight up. It's also probably only about 2/3 full today. So 5,000 people are making this much noise. I think the PA being on 11 doesn't hurt either.
The PA's on 11. The student section's right behind the bench. The band's just off to the left. So where it counts, it's noisy.
Yeah, no doubt. Huskies have Hannes Steinbach with 2 fouls. He's got 2 points and 3 rebounds so far today. The Dogs are out rebounding this very athletic Baylor team 10-9 in general, but you know, you're probably going to want Hannes for the majority of this game. It'd be interesting to see how Danny Sprinkle plays the final 8:24 of the first half.
Well, if this game is close, and by close I mean within an 8-point window, you're not going to see Hannes here in the first half. I don't think. But if all of a sudden Baylor goes on a run and you need his versatility, he's going to roll the dice. You know, it's funny too, that philosophy has changed. When I played and coached, 2 fouls was the line of demarcation. You did not cross it. Coaches now, they're playing more analytics. They're saying, yeah, it's okay. I got to trust my guy. And we'll see how much confidence Danny Sprinkle has in Hannes if he brings him back in early.
Well, Frank Kepnong is the only big in the ballgame right now. Huskies going with 4 guards, Peterson, Diallo, Tucker, and Yates. As Peterson has the ball out top, Dogs down by 4, their largest deficit tonight. They'll feed the post for Kepnong, back to the basket. Little shoulder fake up with the right hand, a little too strong. Offensive rebound by Tucker, gets ripped away by the Bears. Ball loose on the floor, picked up by Yesufu. He's up the court, stops at the free throw line, and dishes for Skillings, who's got it between the rings, angling left to right, and a handoff goes Carr on the right wing. Out top, it's Powell with the basketball, returning it to Carr, head of the circle. Crafty dribbling, now out top to Yesufu, who angles in left way, and he hits a jumper from left of the key.
You know, not terrible defense right there from Bryson Tucker. Just Yesufu makes a shot.
6-point game. Possibly danger time here for the Dogs. Screen and roll to Frank Kepnong, who missed a bunny right at the rim. Rebound comes down to Powell for the Baylor Bears. Beautifully executed play until the missed layup. Agman wide open straight on 3. Rattles around, falls out. Kepnong fumbling the basketball. Goes down to the floor to save the possession and clears it to Wesley Yates. Yates across the timeline. Yates downhill, lowers the shoulder, missed the layup. He's going to the line for 2.
Boy, that's 2 in a row layups, and that one with contact. You can see Wesley. So he's frustrated with himself for not being able to finish and get that 3-point play. But good scrappiness down there on this end for Frank Kepnong, getting on the ground to pick up that ball and get Washington in transition.
I do feel like Frank, being an energy guy, feeding off the energy in this building, maybe a little too amped up. We've seen him miss a bunny. We've seen him fumble that rebound. Frank's got it's hard for him to take it down a notch sometimes. Here's Wesley Yates at the free throw line. A very good shooter, the Texas native from Beaumont, down Houston way, about a couple hours away from here, with a lot of family in attendance. Missed the first free throw. 7:07 to go in the first half. Baylor 25, Washington 19. Baylor on a 12-2 run after the Dogs took an early 17-13 spurt. Kepnong out, Lathan Somerville back into the ballgame. Comes the second for Wesley Yates. Eyes the rim. Shoots. Hits. So 25-20. The Dogs get one more on the board there. The shooting is now almost dead even. Washington 9 of 20 from the floor. Baylor 9 of 21. After the big disparity in favor of Washington early on. Missed dunk by Powell at the other end, and a rebound, Zoom Diallo. No-look bounce pass ahead to Peterson. Behind the back dribble, runs into a double team. Clears it to Diallo, back out to Yates, pump fake on a 3. Euro step down the lane and hits a tough layup. Wesley Yates is in the zone. He's got 5.
You said it. That was a slow-moving Euro, but he absolutely froze Powell there in the middle of the lane.
Makes it a one-possession game. Baylor 25, Washington 22. Yesufu out top, defended by Yates. There's the walk. Huskies were begging for one of those earlier in this game, and this time they get the call. That will be turnover number 4 against Baylor.
Nice job again. I think the defensive effort has been there too. I know that Baylor has gone on a nice little run, but the defensive effort has been there for this team.
Zoom Diallo Bring the ball across the green center court stripe. Kick it back to Tucker. Share it with Yates. Now out top to Diallo, who stays low to the ground. Tries a blow by. Had the ball stripped out of his hands. It'll stay with Washington. 19 on the shot clock. 6:15 for the game, for the first half. And here comes Hannes Steinbach with 2 fouls.
I'm a little surprised. Again, 3-point ball game. It's not as though you absolutely need to. Scott Drew's going to take a timeout here and do a little inspector work to see if that ball went off of Zoom Diallo and is going to challenge this.
All right, so
see you in a minute.
The call on the floor was out of bounds to Washington. The coach for Baylor is challenging that call.
So Scott Drew will go ahead and challenge the call and see whether or not the possession goes back to Baylor or not. Here's the drive by Diallo. This seems clearly slapped out by Baylor.
Well, the 2 challenges that we've seen this year have not gone the way we thought they were going to go. So, whilst I agree, I'm just saying.
Yeah, you're going to need something pretty conclusive to overturn this, and I don't know that you're going to get anything.
Well, you got to see, does it go off of Diallo's thigh after it gets...
It did not appear to. Here's the slap. The ball goes straight out of bounds.
I don't know. Something tells me this is not going to go well.
Are you seeing something I missed?
No, but the way that it looks like it goes off of Diallo's leg, even though I don't think it does.
After review, the call on the floor has been reversed.
Like I said,
Baylor wins the challenge, retains their timeout.
The way the angle and the way that it looks like Zoom's leg comes up at the same time, I don't think it hit Zoom's leg at all. But, 0 for 3.
I don't see it, but I'm biased. So it'll be Baylor basketball up 25-22 with 6:15 to go in this first half. Huskies shooting 48%, but they have yet to hit a 3-pointer. Baylor 41% from the floor. They're 1 of 10 from 3. Out of the corner, driving, it's Yesufu, blanketed by Yates, lob it out top for Agben. Dribble drive into the corner. Yesufu angling his way up. Used the forearm to clear out. Yates missed the jumper off the window. Rebound grabbed by Zoom Diallo. Diallo across the green stripe into the front court. Coming downhill with the left hand. Gets to the rim. Lays it up and in for 2. And the Huskies are back within 1.
What will not go on the stat sheet is the clear out, screen out by Hannes Steinbach right there that allowed Diallo to get all the way to the rim.
Here's Isaac Williams back on the floor. Gives it to Ratai. Dribble drive. Steinbach walling up. Shot up from Ratai and good over Steinbach.
Steinbach with those 2 fouls has got to be a little careful there. So he is walling up, but he does not want to risk picking up that third.
I even thought he reached a little more than I would have liked to see. Here's Diallo lobbing it into Steinbach. Quick catch. Missed the bunny under the basket. High off the window. Rebound Baylor. Ratai ahead to Williams. Extra pass into the corner. Ogden for 3. Back of the rim. No. Offensive rebound. Powell zips it out to Williams. He attacks downhill. Up with the left hand. Missed it. Rebound Hannes Steinbach for the Huskies. Dogs down by 3 rather. Sprinting into the front court. Pass into the corner. Peterson for the tie. Missed the shot. Bodies flying. It's 5-on-3 Baylor after the rebound. They're going up the floor hard. Williams missed the layup and a foul against Washington.
Yeah, they're going to get Zoom Diallo. He tried to go straight up at the very end. Brought his hands down and picked up the foul. His second. Yeah.
So the Huskies huddling up under the basket as Baylor gets ready for a 1-and-1. Well, is this maybe going to be a 2-shot foul?
Yeah, 2-shot foul.
Okay. On the 9th team foul against Washington, 4:43 on the clock. The Bears will shoot 2 for the rest of the half. Isaac Williams at the free throw line went 2 of 4 in the season opener. He's a transfer from Texas A&M Corpus Christi, where he averaged 11 points and 4 assists a game a year ago. Deep breath from him as he holds the ball on his left hip, takes 1 dribble, flicks the right wrist, and left it long.
So that's Baylor's first miss of the free throw line. They're 6 of 7 at the stripe tonight. Baylor 27, Washington 24.
And number 43, Cameron
Carr and Skillings back into the ball game for the Bears, along with Ogbim. The man at the line, Williams, hits the second, and Ratai is the fifth on the floor for Baylor. Zoom Diallo into the front court with Steinbach, Somerville, Yates, and Peterson. Peterson has it left side. Kimari Peterson gets a screen to his left from Steinbach. Bounces for Steinbach, whistle, and a blocking foul taken by Skillings. That's a good, strong drive from Hannes Steinbach.
Are they calling? Yes, they're calling the bucket good as well.
Wow, they did. Oh, my goodness. I thought it was a foregone conclusion that was going to be on the floor.
They have not changed the score in the arena. They've changed it on our monitors.
Number 6, on top.
28-26 is the score. Steinbach missed the shot on the front end of the rim. Rebound. Peterson shoots a three. Missed it wide left off the glass. Foul on the floor against the Baylor Bears. And it'll be a 1-and-1 here for Lathan Somerville, who's an excellent free throw shooter. Well, they still haven't updated the scoreboard, and now everybody on the Washington bench is trying to get attention of the referee crew to say that the Huskies need 2 more points. 28-24 currently on the scoreboard. 28-26 is the real score, with Baylor ahead of Washington. Good. Amazing how many people it takes to get that done.
Right, exactly. It's like, let's get it right.
Here's Lathan Somerville going to the free throw line against a hostile crowd. Takes a deep breath, high arching shot, front end of the 1-and-1, missed it. Rebound by Carr. It's a missed opportunity for the Huskies. Carr across the timeline, drives on Wesley Yates, ball jarred loose. Carr able to regather at the right block, leans and lays it in low of the rim.
Wesley Yates nearly had a steal twice, was not able to get his hand on it. Allowed Carr to pirouette towards the rim.
30-26 the score. Peterson behind a Somerville screen. Gives it up to Zoom Diallo high on the left side. Baylor sticking with its man-to-man as Diallo dribble drive to the free throw line, bounce out top to Peterson. 10 on the shot clock, handoff goes Tucker left side. Big jab step, goes to work at the left elbow. Spin move, rise, fire, hits! Bryson Tucker with the mid-range game that looks like another number 8. And the Huskies pull within 2.
Well played, well played.
I mean, you could tell he studied Kobe. There's no doubt about it. Here's Powell out top. Left side to Carr. Carr from the top of the key. Rises for 3. The second three-pointer today for the Baylor Bears. They're 2 of 12 from the outside.
The Huskies are going to need to knock one of those down. I understand that Baylor's 2 of 12, but Washington 0 of 6 from 3.
33-28. Baylor ahead by 5. Tucker, a handoff goes Zoom Diallo. Now it's Peterson between the rings. Gets a high screen from Somerville. Goes to work. Blows by Williams. Hangs in the air. Missed the layup. Foul called against Baylor. And that's number 9 on the Bears. So after a lot of early fouls against Washington, now the Bears are starting to catch up in that column. And you're getting good free throw shooters at the line for the Washington Huskies. 3:01 to go. 3:01 to go here in this first half. And it's Baylor 33, Washington 28. We'll return in a moment on the Washington Sports Network from Learfield.
For UW fans, Saturdays are purple and gold. And at the greatest setting in college football, connection is everything. T-Mobile delivers the best network. Whether you're sailgating from the lake or streaming from across the country, we've got more towers, a signal that goes farther, and the most advanced 5G. That's why purple reigns on the best network. T-Mobile, it's better over here.
Best mobile network in the U.S. according to Ookla Speed Test 1H 2025.
This is Husky basketball.
Angles his way into the purple paint. Pirouettes and lays it in. What a move!
Washington basketball from Learfield.
You know, Sunset Chevrolet's been telling you the truth about pricing for years now. That all Chevy dealers pay exactly the same from the factory for new Chevrolets, to the penny. And that no dealer has a competitive advantage in price, no matter what they advertise. That's all 100% true. However, some dealers, like Sunset Chevrolet, do in fact sell for less. But how? It's simple automotive economics. Stay with me here. A dealer with a lower cost of doing business can offer lower prices. A place like Sunset Chevrolet in tiny overhead Sumner. No big city overhead expenses at Sunset. Pretty logical, huh? Maybe that's why Sunset's the #1 volume Chevrolet dealership in Washington State year after year. Including warranty, protection for life, and oil changes for life with every qualifying vehicle doesn't hurt either. The truth is, no Chevy dealer anywhere can get you a new Chevrolet for less and give you more than Sunset Chevrolet in Sumner. And people do like that.
Chevrolet cars and tough Chevy trucks. Sunset Chevrolet.
Baylor 33, Washington 28. 3:01 to go in the first half, and the Dogs will be going back to the free throw line. Baylor 7 of 8 from the stripe. Washington just 2 of 5. Huskies also 0 of 6 from 3, and only 3 assists on 13 made field goals. So what this says to me is Baylor, extremely athletic team, taking away a lot of passing lanes, making it very difficult on Washington. But the Huskies, they got some scores this year, and they're able to hang around in a tough physical game like this.
Well, you can see where Washington is scoring. It is points in the paint. 22 of their 28 coming from the lane. And Tony, just as you said, when you have denials from Baylor because they're doing a nice job defensively, it's dribble penetration, trying to get by your man one-on-one, what's been effective for the Washington Huskies. I'm sure there's been a couple of missed layups as well that they'd love to have back.
Remember, the Huskies beat Denver on Thursday night with 7 players scoring in double figures. Comparable equity among the scorers tonight for the Huskies, with Yates and Somerville having 5, Peterson, Tucker, and Steinbach with 4 apiece, and then 2 for Kepnong and Mandequit, as everybody's in the scoring column this play.
Yeah, and I don't think that's really that surprising for this Washington team. You know, when we had Lathan Somerville on post-game the other night, he talked about, you know, we really don't have a starting 5. We have very capable players across, you know, the bench as well, and so you see that in the scoring. Guys come in, they're expected to perform on both ends of the floor.
Bob Baker, our engineer, Andrew Allison back in the network studios, and he will have the halftime show after the final 3:01 ticks off the clock here in Waco. The Dogs trailing Baylor 33-28. They jumped out to a 17-13 lead in this game. Then it was a 12-2 run for Baylor that kind of got us in this 2-possession game, and it's been hovering at this range ever since, and what's been an entertaining first half.
Yeah, it's been really, really a good college basketball game early in the year. 2 teams still finding themselves, but the competition has been high.
Imari Peterson, the Southern Conference Player of the Year last year at East Tennessee State, goes to the line to shoot 2, and he hits the first. One heck of a scorer, averaged 19 points per game. He also led the league in steals last year as well. And a kid that just came up clutch time after time in his 2 years in Johnson City, Tennessee. Peterson, deep breath at the free throw line, shrugs his shoulders, shoots, and rattles it in. 33-30. Huskies down by 3. Baylor Bears across the timeline. Obi Agbin, defended by J.J. Mandequit, the freshman point guard from Hawaii. Bounce goes for Powell, back to the basket, handoff Carr on the left wing. Cross-court pass, Yesufu out of the corner. Quick trigger 3. Pinball's out, rebound J.J. Mandequit for the Dogs. Huskies can tie the game with a 3-point play. Mandequit behind a screen from Somerville. Into the corner for Peterson. Returns to Mandequit, high on the left side. 2:33 to go here in this first half. Tucker comes up to set a screen. Clears a little bit of room for Mandequit. Defense switches. Ball deflected on the entry pass and stolen by the Baylor Bears.
It's 4 turnovers now for J.J.
Ogden from the right elbow. Zips it out to Carr. Left point 3. Got it over. Good closeout for Mandequit.
This is why Cameron Carr is on an NBA prospect. Just his length, his ability to shoot, his athleticism.
36-30 the score. Mandequit driving inside, back to the basket, scoops it over to Yates. Under 2 minutes to go here in this half. Danny Sprinkle trying to communicate a play with 8, 7, 6 on the shot clock. Yates crossover, drive. side. Floater with the right hand, missed it. And a rebound snagged away by Dan Skillings. Danger time here for the Huskies. Carr driving the baseline, goes up for a dunk, lost it on the way up, but grabbed and cleaned up by Caden Powell on the left.
Everybody sort of stopped for Washington after Cameron Carr fumbled that ball. Everybody was looking at it in the air. No one went for it.
Mandaquit downhill, up with the left hand, got it. Tough bucket for J.J. Mandaquit, pulls the Huskies within 6.
He really needed that, and so did the Huskies. Quiets the crowd. J.J. struggling a little bit. That's why when we talked about he was the guy, the Husky spotlight for me, just because he's in a tough spot.
1:06 to go in the half. Ogbim has it between the rings. Screen to his right from Powell. Now comes through the lane, up with the left hand, missed it. Nice rebound by Bryson Tucker. Huskies have an opportunity to go 2 for 1 here. I don't think they will. Looks like they're getting a bit of a stop sign.
Yep, coach wanting to make sure that they execute instead of trying to go for 2 for 1.
Dogs down by 6, 38-32. Lathan Somerville out top with 38 seconds left in the half. Here's Peterson, right side, 8 on the shot clock. Defended tightly by Yesufu. Wraparound pass to Yates out top. Got his man in the air, blows by, scoops it off the glass, missed the shot. Whistle and a foul on Lathan Somerville with 28.2 to go. Will get him into foul trouble when you didn't really need it.
That is a tired foul right there from Lathan Somerville. Just reaches out with his arm and pulls. I didn't see who it was. I think it was Powell there underneath. But you just cannot pick up a cheap one like that and put Baylor at the line.
And it's going to put Powell at the line for 2 because it's double bonus time. Powell is 5 for 5 at the free throw line on this young season. And it looks like Hannes Steinbach will come in for an offensive possession here.
You want them here on a pick and pop as well because they're going to try to trap somebody like Peterson trying to get the ball out of his hands. And so you get Steinbach in there who can screen roll or pick and pop and still shoot the 3. That's a good strategic move, assuming it plays out that way.
Powell missed the free throw. Here comes his second with Steinbach and Diallo back on the floor for the final 28.2. Shot on the way. 2 strong rebound, Wesley Yates. Dogs down by 6, and they can hold for the last shot of the half if they'd like to. Out top, Zoom Diallo. Bounces Kimari Peterson. He's holding the ball in center circle. Now it's Zoom Diallo with 14, 13, 12 to go in the half. He's defended by the McDonald's All-American. 5-star on 5-star. Zoom Diallo drives left of the key, hangs in the air. Shot blocked out of bounds. 4.9 to shoot. In the half.
Plenty of time though. 4.9. Just got to make sure you get it in. You got a timeout if you need it.
Zoom Diallo will enter the ball left of the rim along the baseline. Baseline out of bounds here. He can go to Yates, Steinbach, Tucker, or Peterson. Goes into the corner for Yates. Fires out to Peterson. 30-footer at the horn. Short. Oh! Tip dunk attempt by Tucker almost went in. But Baylor carries a 6-point lead into the locker room, 38-32.
Yeah, missed opportunity maybe there to try to get one at the end, but dodged a bullet there on the 2 missed free throws from Powell. Still a pretty good half of this Washington team.
Andrew Allison back in the network studios with a halftime show. When we continue in a moment, Baylor 38, Washington 32. This is Husky basketball from Learfield.
It takes hard work to be the best in the game. Planning, commitment, resilience, sweat. That's why Old Dominion Freight Line, the #1 national LTL carrier for quality, works hard to be the best in the game and is proud to support those striving to be the best in theirs. Old Dominion Freight Line, official freight carrier of Washington Athletics, helping the world keep promises.
For comprehensive coverage of college basketball, tune to Sirius XM College Sports Radio Channel 84 in the car and on the Sirius XM app.
For the win! Got it! Let's go!
Sirius XM is the home of your favorite team and conference, including live games, plus interviews and analysis.
He's got it!
So cheer along with the Sirius XM app and listen to your favorite team anywhere. Get a free trial at SiriusXM.com/College Sports Radio 2025.
Your home for Husky hoops.
Spin move on the baseline. Power jam with the right hand with authority.
The Washington Sports Network from Learfield.
A true teammate takes on every day with a winner's attitude, gets up when they fall down, and leaves it all on the field. There's a group of teammates who do all these things every single day. But they're more than your typical athlete. They're kids facing unthinkable medical circumstances. Team Impact matches children facing serious illness and disability with college sports teams, creating a long-term, life-changing experience for everyone involved. Join us in the movement to get all kids in the game. Visit teamimpact.org to learn more. Team Impact. All in, all together.
Angel of the Winds Casino Resort is your base camp for adventure. Experience the best in live entertainment with concerts, comedy shows, and sporting events. Next, take a break at one of our 6 dining venues, including an award-winning steakhouse. Amenities also include free valet, bowling, sports simulators, and your favorite games. Whatever your calling is, know Angel of the Winds Casino Resort is the official escape for the dogs. And we're
Welcome to the Halftime Show on the Washington Sports Network from Learfield. Coming up, we'll recap the opening 20 minutes, get scores from around the Big Ten and beyond, and more. Let's go to the network studios. Here's Andrew Allison.
Welcome back inside the network studios. Andrew Allison alongside with you as Baylor leads Washington in our game 38-32 at the break. Let's take a look how this one got going. The Huskies got off to a hot start, courtesy of Latham Somerville and a friendly call.
Steinbeck up top, gives it to Peterson, and now they'll post up Somerville again. Lowers the shoulder, spin move, whistle, blocking foul, and the continuation. They'll give it to Latham Somerville. Counted and one, low on the right block.
9-4 Dogs after 4 minutes of play. Baylor would go on a run to tie it at 11-all, but Washington would still lead 15-13 at the under 12 timeout with a little help from a putback dunk.
Mandequit left side, Peterson pump fake on a 3, gets to the left baseline, back out to Mandequit. He's got it at the top of the key with 6. 5 on the shot clock. Peterson left side, little shimmy shake, needs help. 2, 1. Mandequit top of the key 3, rattles out, rebound, jarred loose, and picked up by Steinbach, who slams it home. That was forced by Kamari Peterson. The rebound grabbed by Isaac Williams for Baylor, but he had his pocket picked by number 0.
That made it 15-13 under 12 there. Baylor would go on another run, taking its first lead and then actually having the lead at the under 8-minute mark, 23-19. The next 5 minutes were back and forth, with Baylor still leading 33-28, 3 minutes to go in the half, and the rest of the half very similar. Baylor able to push the lead actually out to 6, where it currently stands 38-32. That'll do it for your first half recap. We'll take a break, come back, get you an Angel of the Wind scoreboard after this on the Washington Sports Network from Learfield.
Look, I'm not going to tell you how to live your life, but if you're a UW fan like me and you haven't switched your phone service to Husky Mobile, you're passing up a slam dunk. Here's the deal. You get exclusive game day perks, and Husky Mobile contributes to UW Athletics every time you pay your monthly bill. No contract, no hidden fees, no reason to wait. Switch now to the only phone plan built for Husky Nation and on the T-Mobile 5G network. Visit GoHuskyMobile.com. That's GoHuskyMobile.com.
The official airline of the Washington Huskies is your window to the world. Introducing Atmos Rewards, a new loyalty program by Alaska Airlines and Hawaiian Airlines. It's the #1 airline rewards program, according to U.S. News & World Report, and your invitation to explore over 1,000 global destinations with over 30 airline partners, including oneworld. Go to atmosrewards.com to sign up and start your journey today. That's atmosrewards.com.
Your home for Washington basketball.
One-on-one into the front court. Big guy on big guy. Scores it plus the foul.
Husky basketball from Learfield.
When you're on the move and looking for nonstop college sports action, get the Varsity Network app and take the game with you everywhere. Stream live play-by-play from schools across the country right from your phone, free. Catch hundreds of weekly podcasts, including shows from your favorite teams, all in one place. From football Saturdays to midweek hoops, it's your all-access pass to the college sports world. Whether it's game day or just your daily drive, the Varsity Network app has you covered. Download now and listen live for free on the Varsity Network app.
Which schools will take home the prestigious Learfield Directors Cup for the top college athletic programs for the 2025-26 college athletic season? Check out the criteria and follow the year-long standings of your favorite team at L Directors Cup on the X platform or online at thedirectorscup.com. Trophies will be awarded in June 2026 to the winning institutions in all college sports divisions. The Learfield Directors Cup, powered by NACDA, the crowning achievement in college athletics.
Let's get you caught up on scores from around the Big Ten and the nation. Presented by Angel of the Winds Casino Resort, the official casino resort partner of Husky Athletics and the official escape for the Dogs. Once again, to the network studios.
Andrew Allison back in the network studios. Washington trailing Baylor 38-32 in our game. Only two other Big Ten games playing today, and both the Big Ten teams won. USC destroyed Manhattan in Los Angeles 114-83, while Indiana went on the road in the Waterkeepers Alliance Invitational and played Marquette. Hoosiers get the win just an even 100-77. That is do it for the basketball portion of the scoreboard. We're going to give you a football one with the Seahawks defeating the Arizona Cardinals earlier today, 44-22. And a little bit of a UW athletic update. The women's soccer team defeated 9th-ranked Michigan State in the Big Ten championship game in penalty kicks. They got the win in penalty kicks 4-1. So they are Big Ten tournament and regular season champions. That'll do it for your Angel of the Wind scoreboard. We'll take a break. We'll come back and we'll get you first half stats after this on the Washington Sports Network from Learfield.
At Les Schwab, we've been changing the tire game for more than 70 years. We design our own exclusive tires to give you more tires made for the roads you drive, less compromise. All backed by America's best tire warranty included in every tire we sell. It's more unbeatable tire warranty, less charging you extra, like the other guys. It's all about you getting more from less. Stop by or book an appointment at leschwab.com.
Hey, it's Dr. Kopstein with K2 Vision RLE. We're thrilled to be supporting Husky Athletics. If you struggle with distance vision and also need reading glasses, refractive lens exchange can be your permanent solution. Plus, after RLE, you'll never develop a cataract.
There's no one more experienced than the K2 Vision RLE team. They've performed over 150,000 lens procedures, so see every great play by the Dogs with perfect clear vision. Schedule your free Zoom consult now at K2VisionRLE.com. Proud vision partner of UW Athletics.
Go Dogs!
Go Huskies!
NBA 3, got it! Dumps it down low, reverse slam, punishes the rim with a right hand.
This is UW basketball from Learfield.
Hey, Dex Fan here with a little warning to those folks that know they need a new roof eventually but are trying to hang on one more year before they have it done. Well, roofs have a finite lifespan. You're going to need a new one, and prices for roofing materials increase every year, sometimes by a lot. So if you wait, you're going to pay more. Call my friends at Hyder Construction today. Get first-class professionalism and craftsmanship, giving you the new roof your home needs to battle our crazy Northwest weather. Get Hyder out to your house now to give you a free roof examination and free estimate. 425-771-3515 and HyderConstruction.com.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Allison back inside the network studios with the Dogs trailing the Bears 38-32 at the end of the first half. Let's get you some first half stats. First for the Huskies, balanced scoring. Peterson led the way with 6, then Yates and Somerville have 5 apiece. Mandequit, Tucker, and Steinbach all with 4. Diallo and Kepnong with 2. For Baylor, they're led by Carr with 13. Ratai has 9. Powell 7, and then Skillings and Yesufu have 4 apiece. Huskies shot 44% from the floor, as did Baylor in that first half. 3 of 14 from distance for the Bears. Huskies 0 for 7. The Dogs 4 of 7 from the charity stripe. Baylor 7 of 10. Total rebounds, Huskies have the lead in that category, 20-17. Second chance points, though, go to the Bears, 6-4. Bench points, 10-8 in favor of the Dogs. Points in the paint also in favor of the Dogs, 24-16. That'll do it for our portion of halftime. Baylor leads 38-32 over the Dogs. We'll take a break, come back, and go back courtside after this on the Washington Sports Network from Lear Field.
Raise a glass to the Dogs with the new Husky Craft Pack. Brimming with Pacific Northwest flavor, enjoy a lineup of amazing local brews and ciders at Husky Stadium. Georgetown Brewing, run by dogs who make sure you have darn tasty beer. Two Towns Cider, crafted in the Pacific Northwest since 2010. And Seattle's Elysian Brewing Company, makers of Space Dust and 30 years of bold flavors and award-winning beers. Get the greatest of local beers all season long at the greatest setting in college football. Please drink responsibly.
Angel of the Winds Casino Resort is your base camp for adventure. Experience the best in live entertainment with concerts, comedy shows, and sporting events. Next, take a break at one of our 6 dining venues, including an award-winning steakhouse. Amenities also include free valet, bowling, sports simulators, and your favorite games. Whatever your calling is, know Angel of the Winds Casino Resort is the official escape for the Dogs, and we're closer than you think. Learn more and plan your next adventure at angelofthewinds.com.
Washington basketball lives here.
It's a 3, hits the 3. One on nobody, to the rim, and he slams it with 2 hands.
This is UW basketball from Learfield.
UW Medicine is the only health system in Washington where a top-rated medical school and a research powerhouse are directly connected to your care. That means the doctors caring for you are the same people advancing medical research and teaching the next generation of outstanding physicians. From wellness checks to complex surgeries, we're committed to providing you with the best care every day. UW Medicine, a higher degree of health care.
Aw, shucks, the game's on TV, but I can't listen to the call of my favorite team broadcasters.
Never fear, Sync My Game is here.
Sync My Game?
Yes, Sync My Game. If you have a DVR and streaming device, head to syncmygame.com from Learfield. It's never been easier to hear the impassioned voices of your favorite radio crew synced with the TV.
Wow, thank you, Mr.
Just remember, syncmygame.com.
Baylor 38, Washington 32 as we get ready to start the second half. It was a fun first 20 minutes, Jason Hamilton, but a couple things really stand out. The foul trouble, having 2 on Diallo, Steinbach, and Somerville. Also curious that it never got fixed. I thought there were 2 on Frank. He currently has 1. Not that I want him to have a second foul, but it seemed like something was a little bit off there. But also, it seemed like Baylor's starting to heat up, not just at the free throw line, but starting to make a few threes there late in the half.
Yeah, Cameron Carr was the one guy that you just simply cannot leave open. He knocked down all 3 of Baylor's three-point makes. They were 3 of 14, but he was the guy that started to get hot for the Bears. And for Washington, conversely, Tony, 0 of 7 from 3. They got to find somebody, and I know Kimari Peterson has been that guy, but as a group, they've got to figure out a way to be able to knock down some threes.
Well, we said it with Ognosevich not able to go right now because of the broken foot. You really only had one proven three-point sharpshooter. That's Kimari Peterson, and Peterson was 0 for 5.
That's right. And so that's where, other guys, I know that they're not necessarily known for that, but from a percentage standpoint, Wesley Yates, guy that was plus 40% from 3 last year. So he, Bryson Tucker are 2 guys that sort of come to mind right away.
Bryson Tucker off to a good start this year. 5 of 11 coming into the game from the outside. And he's been 2 for 2 today from 2-point range with 2 really tough mid-range shots. I think Husky fans are going to fall in love with that mid-range game. Very reminiscent of a Jalen Noel.
Yeah, absolutely. And his athleticism, he showed that twice on a couple of those fadeaways. I mean, the elevation there, his ability to get above the defender there. and shoot the basketball.
All right, so Dogs are -6 right now for the start of the second half. What needs to change in order to reverse their fortunes?
Well, they can't be in the bonus or allow Baylor to be in the bonus with nearly half of the time remaining to go in the half, right? Hannes Steinbach's got to stay out of foul trouble, but he's got to get going as well. You got to get him some touches.
All right, Hannes will inbound the ball to Zoom Diallo, who brings the ball up the floor from right to left from our vantage point, which is opposite that of TV. Bounce for Steinbach. Back to the basket. Looks and finds Wesley Yates at the right elbow. Now he turns and has his back to the basket. Gives it Diallo high on the left side. Zoom Diallo with 10 on the shot clock. Screen to his left from Steinbach. Looks, dishes for Steinbach, who dunks, and the ball hangs on the rim before falling through. Not the cleanest two for Steinbach, but it goes through anyway.
Yeah, and interesting to mention that J.J. Mandequit is not starting. It is Zoom Diallo at the point on that screen roll, but nice look there to get Hannes going.
Here's Carr with the ball at the left point. Looks for a backdoor cut. It's not there. Instead throws out top to Ratai. Now it's Skillings with the ball right wing. Out top to Ogden. Into the corner. Yesufu for three. Got it. Baylor now 4 for 15 from the outside, but they've made 4 in their last 5.
You've got to run Yesufu off the line if you possibly can. Not that he's a prolific shooter as Carr, but still, he's had a lot of attempts at it today.
41-34. It's a 3-possession game. Huskies need to make a move right here. Tucker, tough fade away from the left baseline. No, offensive rebound. Steinbach zips it out to Diallo. Straight on 3. Missed it short. Ball rolls out of bounds. And back to Baylor.
Yeah, somebody's got to get the lid off of that three-point line. I mean, goodness gracious, that's a wide open look from Diallo, and I know he's worked really hard on his shot. Not able to get that one to go down.
Well, you heard Danny Sprinkle say in the pregame show, defense is going to be really important in this game, and that D is going to have to step up right now with the Dogs down by 7. Here's Ogden with the ball out top, defended by Diallo into the corner. Skillings for 3, hits another one. He was wide open running that baseline.
And now the crowd's back into it. You don't want to say it's danger time. There's a lot of time left in this second half, but down 10 now. Washington needs a bucket.
Largest deficit of the season for the Huskies. Down by 10. Here's Zoom Diallo. Driving, left to the key, spins, floats it up with the right hand, and scores. Good body control by Zoom, who's got 4.
Yeah, because he's so physical, he showed that all of last year, his freshman year, being able to score in the paint.
Here's Ogden with the ball high on the right. Finds Skillings for 3 over Steinbach. Missed it. Long rebound out to the free throw line for Diallo. Dogs off and running. 3-on-3 into the front court. Diallo fumbles, regathers, and now backs his way in right of the painted area. And that's an easy charge call on Zoom Diallo, who just had that little skip with the lowering of the shoulder right into the chest of number 5.
And it was an easy setup as well. You could tell that Zoom wanted to back him down. He just took too much time, and it was just a matter of time before Ogden just was going to be in the right position to take that charge.
44-36, Baylor ahead by 8. Huskies led really for the first 10 minutes of this game, but Baylor had a 12-2 run middle of the first half, and they've been ahead ever since. Here's Yesufu driving on Somerville, gets down to the left block, shot partially blocked by Somerville. Rebound Yates, clears it out ahead to Diallo. 1-on-2, challenges at the rim. Layup was blocked. They're going to call a foul on Carr. Carr got a lot of ball right there. There was some body contact, but I thought that looked pretty clean.
Yeah, it looked like Carr went straight up. We'll see. Ooh-wee. And the late hand coming down. We talked about that. Pretty much the officials, when they see the arm come down, whether you get ball or not, generally speaking, they're going to call that a foul. And that's 3, by the way, on Carr. Huge foul.
That's a big one. Zoom Diallo at the line. Concentrates and hits. Dogs now 5 for 8 to the free throw line today as they pull within 7 points, 44-37. And Carr is going to come out of the game. Isaac Williams onto the floor for the first time in the second half. Williams had 1 point, 2 rebounds in the first half. Zoom Diallo from Tacoma shoots and hits. So the Dogs hanging around. They're down by 6, 44-38.
Stack some scores and some stops, Tony.
Get a stop, get a score. We'll see if Washington can do that. Starting on defense right here, Skillings had an early 3 here in the second half. Dishes left side to Ratai, who penetrates on Somerville, lowers the shoulder, fadeaway shot. Late foul call They definitely blew that whistle late. It was a miss from Skillings, from Ratai rather, and he's going to go to the line.
Yes, Somerville reacted, I think, maybe to the lateness, not necessarily to whether or not he fouled him. It looked like he might have got Ratai on the wrist there.
Both teams shooting 44% in the game. The real difference at the free throw line and at the three-point line, where Baylor's got 5 threes to Washington's over 8 mark. And Baylor 7 of 10 at the line, where the Huskies are 6 for 9. Michael Ratai to the free throw line. Oregon State transfer hits the first. Ratai made his first career start against Washington in Corvallis back in 2022. And he played 3 years as a starter for the Beavers rather, before making his transfer to Baylor here for this final year of college basketball. His second shot is up on the way and good. 46-38. Baylor up by 8. Underhand scoop pass from Steinbach to Diallo, who brings the ball into the front court, puts his left hand in the air, directs traffic to set the offense into motion for the Huskies. Wesley Yates sprinting over to the right wing. Diallo still has the ball in his hands, and he bounces for Steinbach back at the center circle. Return to Diallo high on the right with 13 on the shot clock. Angles to the free throw line. Rise and fire, and he hits. Zoom Diallo's got 8 as the Huskies pull within 6.
A lot of confidence in that pull-up jumper right there from the sophomore.
Here's Isaac Williams across the timeline for the Baylor Bears, who are wearing dark jerseys at home. Huskies in white on the road. Bounce into the corner. Wide open 3. Another one for the Bears, who are burning up the nets in the second half. They're 3 for 4 from the outside.
Yeah, and Zoom Diallo went for the double team in the lane that just left a wide open three-point shooter in Williams alone, Tony.
Zoom Diallo over to the left wing. Now angles his way in through the lane. Lost the handle. Bounces down low for Tucker, in trouble. Kick it to Yates. Out top, Diallo for 3. Over the closeout, missed it wide left. Ball saved inbounds right to Wesley Yates on the left wing. Sidestep into the corner. Needs help, needs a teammate. Trying to get rid of the ball. Throws it over his shoulder. Caught by Steinbach. Bodies flying as he shovels it to Diallo. Lob it down low. Caught by Tucker. Reverse layup is good, and the Huskies just stick with it to pull within 7.
Well, it looked like Danny Sprinkle was going to try to call a timeout there because Yates got trapped. That thing somehow, some way ended up in a bucket.
4.5 minutes into the second half. 49-42. Baylor ahead by 7. Ogden with the ball, and he gives it up to Isaac Williams at the top behind a screen. Drives left of the key, gets to the rim, and a very quick layup by Williams that pushes it back up to 9.
I think Zoom Diallo wouldn't mind a break either. He got caught behind that screen.
It's a high-octane game. And Kimari Peterson has been at the scorer's table for the last 2 minutes or so. Ready to check in. We'll get you a timeout with the next dead ball. Somerville with 10 on the shot clock. Handoff Tucker. Right wing 3. Short. Offensive rebound. Steinbach goes back up with the left hand. No. Tip back by Tucker. Won't go. And Steinbach sticks with it and puts it in right over the front of the rim.
Yeah, big high flyer, and Tucker that tipped that ball gave Hunts another chance to put that ball up and in.
51-44. Again, Dogs just hanging around, down by 7. They need a few more stops on the defensive end of the floor. Here's Williams with the ball high on the right side. Swatted at by Yates. Williams regathers. Kicks it out top to Skillings. Left side, Yesufu. Drives the left baseline. Closed off by Diallo. Puts up an 18-footer. It's short. Rebound Hunts on his Steinbach for the Huskies. He'll clear it out to Tucker up the left sideline into the front court for the Dogs. A chance to make it a 2-score game. Somerville between the rings. Right side to Diallo. Needs a teammate. Bounces for Somerville. The big 6'11 forward handling the ball outside the three-point arc. Handoff goes Yates. Yates coming downhill straight at the rim. Stops in the mid-range area. Gives it up to Steinbach. 7 to shoot. Here's Diallo. Long 18-footer is good. And Zoom Diallo's the first Dog in double figures with 10.
Yeah, you start him in the second half. He's had a couple of lapses defensively, but offensively, he has been the guy here in this second frame.
Both teams scoring a lot here in the second half. Dogs outscoring Baylor 14-13 after halftime. Skillings with the ball out top. Drives on Steinbach at the left block. Tries a reverse layup. How did he fit that through? What reach by the long right arm to hit a tough reverse layup. Wesley Yates at the other end. Wow, a crafty reverse layup with English that's waved off. They're going to say foul on the floor against Baylor, and it'll be Husky basketball when we continue in a moment. 13:28 on this second half clock, and Baylor's got a 53-46 lead on Washington. Timeout on the floor. We'll return in a moment on the Washington Sports Network from Learfield.
Angel of the Winds Casino Resort is your base camp for adventure. Experience the best in live entertainment with concerts, comedy shows, and sporting events. Next, take a break at one of our 6 dining venues, including an award-winning steakhouse. Amenities also include free valet, bowling, sports simulators, and your favorite games. Whatever your calling is, know Angel of the Winds Casino Resort is the official escape for the dogs, and we're closer than you think. Learn more and plan your next adventure at angelofthewinds.com.
It takes hard work to be the best in the game. Planning, commitment, resilience, sweat. That's why Old Dominion Freight Line, the #1 national LTL carrier for quality, works hard to be the best in the game and is proud to support those striving to be the best in theirs. Old Dominion Freight Line, official freight carrier of Washington Athletics, helping the world keep promises.
At Banner Bank, we're big Husky fans, so we want you to know you can win big every day at Banner with the award-winning financial services you deserve from people you can trust. Visit any Banner Bank branch or find us at bannerbank.com and see why Banner Bank was named one of America's best regional banks by Newsweek and one of the 100 best banks in America by Forbes for the 8th year in a row. Banner Bank. Game-changing service, no trick plays. Banner Bank. Member FDIC.
Well, today's game brought to you by UW Medicine, the only health system in Washington that directly connects care with a top-rated medical school and a research powerhouse. UW Medicine, a higher degree of healthcare. This is a high-level college basketball game to wrap up the first week of the college basketball season. It tipped off on Monday, and here we are Sunday night playing our 3rd game of the season, and the Dogs hanging on the road with a very good Baylor team, 53-46.
Yeah, it's been an entertaining game for sure, and the fact that Washington sort of absorbed that early start, that push that Baylor had to start this second half, they're able to just sort of chip away, only down 7, Tony. You know, now with the ball coming out of the break here, you got to try to get this score, but you know, I like the way that the team has stayed for the most part pretty composed, you know, in this environment.
Need a couple more stops here in this second half. I know this is our first 4-minute session, ended up going 6.5 minutes, but the Dogs have already given up 15 points here in the second half.
Yeah, and they've got to find a way on the offensive end. I mean, defensively, they've got caught behind some screens, and Baylor's been able to get some open looks, but offensively, you know, we talked about it. They could not go 0 from 3. Right now they're 0 for 10. If they want or have designs on being in this game for the long run, you know, the 3 ball's got to go down.
Cameron Carr had 28 in the season opener for the Bears. He's got 13 to lead all scorers tonight. And the Oregon State transfer, Michael Ratai, has 11 to help pace the Bears. Meanwhile, Huskies led by Zoom Diallo, who did not get the start today, but has come off the bench to pour in 10 points along with 3 rebounds, 2 assists. He also has 3 fouls against him right now. Hannes Steinbach has 8 points and 9 rebounds, knocking on the door of another double-double.
What you'd expect. I mean, you know, he had a tough first half, you know, from a scoring standpoint, but you expect the big fella, 6'11", to be around the rim and collecting rebounds.
So the Huskies down by 7, but they've got the ball right here. 25 on the shot clock, 13:28 for the ball game. Diallo fakes a pass inside and lobs it out to Wesley Yates on the left wing. Back to the basket, gives it Peterson, left wing 3, short. And a long rebound chased down by Caden Powell. Dogs 0 for 11 from the outside here in Waco. Carr with the ball between the rings, defended tightly by Diallo, zips it down low to Powell, maybe got away with a walk and kissed it home low on the right.
He got away with the walk too. Powell never put that ball on the deck and got from the middle of the key to underneath the basket.
9-point game. Missed the 3 at one end. Baylor gets a bucket after a walk on the other. Peterson seeing eye, bounce pass for Steinbach, who lowers his shoulder, baby hook with the right, missed it, rebound Carr. And now a really big defensive possession for the Huskies. Down by 9, Carr has it stripped away by Peterson. They're going to get him for a foul.
They're going to
maybe got a little bit of skin.
In the active shooting as well, which is a little bit. I mean, this continues. I must have missed the memo on the continuation for both teams. I'm not sure, and maybe I have, that they're allowing the half step now.
Well, there's almost mind reading going on there because Card never actually got a shot up on the rim.
No, and they also said he hit him. He nicked him in the side of the head, on the way. I don't think he ever raised that ball above his waist.
So again, the Huskies got to find a way to get maybe just a few more stops here in this second half to give their offense a chance to catch up. But down by 9 right now. Baylor 55, Washington 46, 12:42 to go second half.
What just makes this even more curious is they just called this on Zoom. That was Kimari Peterson one-on-one with Carr at the top of the key.
Yeah, that's really curious because now Zoom's got 4 fouls after giving him the personal, and that's your leading scorer tonight for the Huskies, who's got 10 points. Carr at the line misses the first of 2 free throws. They'll go to the line.
Sorry, Tony. They went back to the monitor and checked, though. I mean, the official that made the call went to the scores table and examined it again. So maybe there was a off ball. Well, they called the shooting foul. I'm not sure.
I'm befuddled by that one as well. I saw what you saw. Here's Carr at the line to shoot a second. Ball don't lie. He goes 0 for 2. Rebound Hannes Steinbach for the Dogs. But Zoom Diallo on the bench now clapping his hands and trying to implore his Huskies to get a big bucket here. They're down by 9 at Baylor. J.J. Mandaquit, dribble drive to the rim, lays it up and in. Did a great job wiggling behind the screen to get to the bucket.
I love that. Tough-minded kid, right? Doesn't start the second half. He could have, hung his head. He's out here competing.
55-48. Williams drives. He's stopped by Steinbach at the left block. Now goes underneath the basket over to the right wing. Williams tries to drive again on Steinbach. Shot blocked off the glass by Steinbach. Ball is loose. Saved in bounds by Mandaquit and over to Peterson. And the Huskies off and running. Tucker is down on the ground, and it's 4-on-5. A 3 on the way. No good. Tipped out by Steinbach. Mandaquit pump fake on a shot. He's going to go straight to the rim. Puts the ball up on the glass. No good. And Tucker is still down. He's finally helped up by one of the towel boys for Baylor on the other side after the whistle blows. But I don't think any of the other 4 players for Washington noticed, or else they could have stopped the game and saved the possession, as well as checking on Tucker, who is grimacing in pain as he's being helped back to the bench by Peterson and Steinbach. Timeout. And it looks like he is favoring his, I can't tell if it's lower leg or if it's more of the knee. We got to get to a break. 11:52 to go in the second half, and we'll get you a report when we continue in a moment. Baylor 55, Washington 48. This is Husky basketball from Learfield.
The official airline of the Washington Huskies is your window to the world. Introducing Atmos Rewards, a new loyalty program by Alaska Airlines and Hawaiian Airlines. It's the #1 airline rewards program, according to U.S. News and World Report, and your invitation to explore over 1,000 global destinations with over 30 airline partners, including OneWorld. Go to atmosrewards.com to sign up and start your journey today. That's atmosrewards.com.
Your home for Husky hoops.
Now 3, swish! Gets to the rim, draws the foul, kissed it home +1.
The Washington Sports Network from Learfield.
Hi, Coach Mike Holmgren here for R&R Foundation Specialist. R&R Foundation Specialist is a family-owned and operated team that has a strong game plan for all your foundation and waterproofing needs. R&R has crews ready to evaluate your home and give you an honest, fair assessment of the problem. No hidden fees and no fumbles in workmanship with R&R Foundation Specialist. Trust your local foundation and waterproofing experts. Visit rrfoundationspecialist.com.
Want to cut your energy bills without cutting comfort? Mitsubishi Electric ductless systems are up to 30% more efficient than traditional HVAC, saving you money every month. Savings because you heat and cool only where you need it. Plus, ultra-quiet operation and clean air filtration for smart comfort you can feel. Ready to save? Go to ductlesshomecomfort.com and connect with your local Mitsubishi Electric and Air Conditioning Pro, trained to deliver maximum efficiency. Start saving on energy bills at ductlesshomecomfort.com.
1:52 to go in the ball game. Baylor 55, Washington 48, and Bryson Tucker has been taken back into the locker room for the Washington Huskies as he walked gingerly back there with a lower body injury. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is Husky basketball from Learfield. Baylor started 0 for 8 from three-point range today. Huskies are still 0 for 12, but Baylor's made 6 of their last 10 beyond the arc, and that's really the difference in a 7-point ball game.
Yeah, it's been a pretty interesting shooting display from Baylor. We knew that they could shoot. That was not really the situation. They just weren't knocking them down in the first half. But when Carr got going, I think that lit the lamp for everybody else on this Bears roster to shoot it.
Well, the Huskies are still very much in this game, and I think they continue to fight extraordinarily well. There's just a vibe right now that it's like a grind, and I think it'll be interesting to see, if Washington's able to get those couple of stops that can get you out of that back and forth that we've been in for this whole second half with the game kind of at arm's length.
Yeah, Washington needs to put together some combos, right? Stops and scores, scores and stops, and that will get them back going. Right now it's a little bit choppy. The competitive spirit has been there. It's just been very, very choppy.
All right, so back to live action. Baylor with the basketball across the timeline. As a pass into the post, knocked away by Wesley Yates. There's the stop you're looking for. Picked up by Peterson. Up the left sideline, bounces back for Yates. Yates dribbles into the corner and now tries to back his way in on J.J. White. All the way down to the left block. Pumps up the shot, missed it short. Ball tipped around and into the corner where it's picked up by Baylor. Cameron Carr flies up the floor. He leads all scorers with 13. Fires a pass that's intercepted by Hannes Steinbach. Steinbach charging up the floor and draws a foul on Carr. That's his 4th.
Yeah, nice job. Hannes protecting the ball with that big body. You can see that Carr was trying to bait him into something there and grab a steal in transition, but Hannes was certainly keen to it.
And they're going to keep Carr in the ballgame? No, okay, here comes Obi Ogbem to replace Carr. Ogbem, 6 assists and 2 turnovers in 24 minutes. He's yet to score. J.J. Mandequit under the basket, needs a teammate. He'll try to lob it. It's deflected into the air by Powell and intercepted by Baylor. And missed opportunity for the Huskies, down by 7. They could have got it down to a 2-score game. There's Yesufu out top, left side to Ogbem. And now they find Powell at the top of the key, blanketed by Frank Kepnong in the Husky man-to-man. Shovel it over to Skillings, tries to drive on the German. Steinbach defends well, and a whistle and a walk against Baylor. That's turnover number 7 for the Bears tonight.
Yeah, nice job again from Hannes Steinbach, not going for the shot fake there. And the Bears now 3 turnovers in their last 2 minutes and 7 seconds.
And they haven't scored in that period of time as well, so they're getting the stops that we just called for. Now the Huskies need a score. Peterson dribbling into the corner, gives it to Steinbach, and he walks on the other end. It just got sped up just a little bit.
Yeah, I don't think he expected to be that open. When he pivoted towards the key, there was no Baylor Bear there. Coach Sprinkle gives us a look like, come on.
He just can't believe the missed opportunity. They're right there. They had a chance, but now they're going to need another stop. 55-48. They've strung a few of them together. See if the Dogs get another one. Mandequit defending at the top of the key, man-to-man. Here's Powell with the basketball, looking and finding White on the right side, blanketed by Kimari Peterson. White will try to lob it down to Yesufu, and it's Yates who's got the assignment. Yesufu leans in, draws a foul on Yates. I thought Yates defended that pretty well, but Yesufu missed the shot. He's going to the line for 2 shots.
The way that the official gave the sort of descriptor of the foul was that he started straight up but moved. His arms moved in the air and created the contact. That's a tough call. He's shooting 2 shots. Look at Wesley Yates having the conversation, saying, really, was that legit?
And Roger Ayers says, yes, it is. And bounces the basketball and gives it to the free throw shooter Yesufu, who's got 7 points tonight on 3 of 10 shooting. These are his first free throws today. McDonald's All-American hits the first. Huskies recruited him He ends up a Baylor Bear. Has scored 24 points, had 7 rebounds in the season opening game against UT Rio Grande Valley. Second free throw good as well. Just like that, Baylor gets it back up to 9. 57-48. Kimari Peterson across the BU logo. Into the front court, down here in Waco. Crossover to the rim. Reverse layup, good. Tough. Kimari Peterson, a magician with the basketball.
Yeah, that's just a tough, gritty drive to the basket and finish from Kimari.
He's got 8. Dogs within 7. 57-50. There's Ogbim. Defended by J.J. Mandaquit out top. Screen to his left from Powell. Ogbim left to the key. Cross-court pass goes to White. Now they find Skillings for a left point 3. It's short. Long rebound chased down by Peterson. And here's a chance for the Huskies as he looks with his head up. Feeds Yates. Left wing 3. There's the first triple of the night for the Washington Huskies. And it comes up clutch. The Texan Wesley Yates with a sharpshoot from the left side, and a timeout for Scott Drew as the Huskies with a big bucket get it down to 4. 57-53 with 9:39 to go.
Boy, needed that so badly. Wesley Yates looked over at the bench, points to himself like, let's go.
Yeah, you can put that pistol back in the holster after knocking down the first 3 of the night for the Dogs. And it brings us to a timeout with 9:38 to go. Dogs are hanging around on the road, trailing Baylor 57-53 on the Washington Sports Network from Learfield.
Look, I'm not going to tell you how to live your life, but if you're a UW fan like me and you haven't switched your phone service to Husky Mobile, you're passing up a slam dunk. Here's the deal. You get exclusive game day perks, and Husky Mobile contributes to UW Athletics every time you pay your monthly bill. No contract, no hidden fees, no reason to wait. Switch now to the only phone plan built for Husky Nation and on the T-Mobile 5G network. Visit GoHuskyMobile.com. That's GoHuskyMobile.com.
UW Medicine is the only health system in Washington where a top-rated medical school and a research powerhouse are directly connected to your care. That means the doctors caring for you are the same people advancing medical research and teaching the next generation of outstanding physicians. From wellness checks to complex surgeries, we're committed to providing you with the best care every day. UW Medicine, a higher degree of health care.
Around here, it's all or nothing. That's why Toyota has more all-wheel drive choices. Now through December 1st, get 3.99 APR financing on a new gas-powered 25 RAV4. Or lease a 25 RAV4 LE gas with all-wheel drive for $289 a month for 39 months with $39.99 due at signing. With approved credit through TFS, tax, title, and license extra. A negotiable doc fee of up to $200 may be added. Call 1-888-48-TOYOTA for details or go to Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Dogs trailing at Baylor 57-53. They were down by 10 moments ago. They've gotten it down to 4. Let's do a little flashback to 6 years ago yesterday. Friday, November 8th, 2019, up in Alaska to open up the season. Washington and Baylor, the last time these teams met, the Bears were up by 13 late in the game before the Dogs put a furious rally together. And Isaiah Carter scored 23 points, hit 4 3-pointers in that game, and Isaiah Stewart with 15 points and 7 rebounds in his Husky debut as the Dogs came back to beat a Baylor team 67-64 that would go on to win the national championship the next season.
Yeah, that was a fun game. Exciting game. One of those where you just knew that both teams were super, super talented from the get-go, and it played out that way. It was an electric end to that one. Hopefully.
I'm still jealous I wasn't there for that one.
I was going to say.
I was doing football in Corvallis.
Yeah.
I was doing football in Corvallis, and the Huskies did win that night. But man, you got the barn burner up in Alaska. That had to be a really fun one to be a part of.
Awesome game. And you know, you and I talked about this when you have marquee matchups in the non-conference, nationally televised games, good teams. Those are the fun ones. Those are the fun ones to do.
Those are games you remember, and this one's shaping up to possibly be one of those. Washington trailed by 10 just moments ago. Here they are down 4. Dogs started out playing very well. Took an early lead in this game. They were up 17-13 and led really through the first 8 to 10 minutes before Baylor put a 12-2 run together and then kind of held the Huskies at arm's length. But now the Dogs very much back in this thing if they can get another stop.
Yeah, it's been about stops and scores, and the Huskies have put something together here. Baylor, no field goals in the last 3 minutes and 31 seconds.
Yeah, 9:39 to go as we return to live action. Inbounds goes to Isaac Williams running the point right now for the Baylor Bears. Defended by Kimari Peterson. Pass into the corner. Skillings running the baseline. Open for three. Missed it long. Ball tipped out by J.J. Mandequit, and he's able to grab the rebound away from a bigger Yesufu. Bounce for Kimari Peterson. Open look at a triple. Rattles around and falls out. And a rebound for Yesufu, and Baylor sprinting up the floor all the way coast to coast. Throws it in and a blocking foul against J.J. Mandequit, and Danny Sprinkle pumps his fist. He does not like the call.
J.J. Mandequit was sitting there waiting for Yesufu to come downhill at him, and I'm very anxious to see this. In the replay, he's sliding and moving a little bit to his right, and that's the right call.
For your Bears, number 24,
Kimari Peterson's three-pointer was halfway down. That would have cut it to one, and instead it's Yesufu at the line trying to make it a three-score game again, and he does. 60-53. That's a big swing.
It certainly is, and boy, Kimari Peterson had a great look at that three.
So the Huskies keep chopping away. Peterson at the top. Drives left of the key, off the window, missed it, tipped back by Frank, won't go. Frank still fighting for it. Ketnon gets the rebound under the basket, double team, comes out of it, missed the baby hook, and a rebound Baylor.
Everything but the bucket. Wow.
Love the effort, love the energy, just could not finish on that possession. 60-53. Ogbim, left side to Skillings, who drives the left baseline, runs into Kepnong, runs into trouble, and passes back out to Ogbim. Now it's Williams at the top. Gets by Peterson, runs into Steinbach. Peterson catches up defensively, puts up a long two, and he does hit it despite 3 seconds in the key.
I was going to say, you had three pivots there from Isaiah Williams and no 3-second call.
62-53. Mandequit straight on triple. Yes. J.J. Mandequit answers. He's got 9 with a three-pointer from the top, pulling the Huskies within 6.
That's a big one. That is a big three there from the freshman.
Just his second three-pointer in his Husky career. 2 for 8 now from the outside as a dog. Here's Ogbim with the ball between the rings. Blanketed by Mandequit. Step back 2. Rattles around and goes through. First points tonight for Ogden.
And all of a sudden, Baylor getting hot again.
64-56 as we are under 8 minutes to toe here in Waco. J.J. Mandequit for the white-clad Huskies here on the road. Passes over to Wesley Yates, who drives, layup, blocked at the rim. Rejected by Powell, and a run out for the Bears. Ogbim clears it right side. A missed dunk at the other end, and a foul called on Frank Kepnong?
Yeah, they called it on Frank. I'd be very curious to see that replay as well. It just looked like,
I think Powell just missed the dunk.
That's what I thought. It looked like Skillings went high to dunk it. I didn't see the body contact.
7:23 left in the ball game. Timeout. We'll take it as well. Baylor 64, Washington 56. This is Husky basketball from Learfield.
Raise a glass to the dogs with the new Husky Craft Pack. Brimming with Pacific Northwest flavor, enjoy a lineup of amazing local brews and ciders at Husky Stadium. Georgetown Brewing, run by dogs who make sure you have darn tasty beer. Two Towns Cider, crafted in the Pacific Northwest since 2010. And Seattle's Elysian Brewing Company, makers of Space Dust and 30 years of bold flavors and award-winning beers. Get the greatest of local beers all season long at the greatest setting in college football. Please drink responsibly.
Washington basketball lives here.
Passes, layup +1.
What an unbelievable find and what an unbelievable finish.
This is UW basketball from Learfield.
For years now, Sunset Ford's been telling you the truth about pricing. That all Ford dealers pay exactly the same from the factory for their new vehicles, to the penny. And absolutely no Ford dealer has a competitive advantage in price over any other Ford dealer. Those are the facts, irrefutable. However, some dealers can in fact sell for less. How? Logic and simple economics. If a dealer has a lower cost of doing business, they can offer you lower prices. Let's say there's a big city Ford dealership with a modern multi-million-dollar facility and an army of employees. That's huge overhead. The other has exactly the same Ford inventory that they paid exactly the same amount for, but their dealership is in a place like Sumner. You tell me, what dealer can save you money and include warranty protection for life and oil changes for life? Truth is, no Ford dealer anywhere can get you a new Ford for less than Sunset Ford of Sumner.
You just get more at Sunset Ford.
And people do like that.
Baylor 64, Washington 56. We got 7:23 left in the ball game. Huskies got it down to 4 moments ago and got an open look at 3. Kimari Peterson, that's the guy you want taking that shot, but it just lipped out. Peterson 0 for 7 from the outside today. That's their best three-point shooter. And then Baylor caught fire again. Now they're back up by 8.
Yeah, that was a tough stretch right there. I mean, that sort of took the wind out of Washington's sails for a moment. They continued, to battle, which is the good part, but you've got to be able to knock down more threes. I know they've made 2 here in this second half, but those wide open looks, Tony, have to start to fall.
It's time for today's Best in the Game, brought to you by Old Dominion Freight Line. Old Dominion Freight Line works hard to be the best in the game, and they're proud to support those striving to be the best in theirs.
Yeah, you know what? For me, it's not about an individual stat. It's just about the way that Washington has come out here and met the challenge. They've competed really, really hard. Now, there's 7:23 to go, in an 8-point ball game, and a lot of time to be played. But up until this point, they have tried to match whatever Baylor has brought to the table in this environment.
John Rothstein of CBS Sports tweeting out earlier today that he kind of felt like this was an 8-9 first-round NCAA tournament game. And just to kind of have that sort of national attention with people paying attention, not just from the network broadcasting the game, but from all the college basketball networks across the country. And I feel like this has met that level of play from both teams.
Yeah. And Washington now with a shorter bench with Bryson Tucker, not sure what that injury or how long or what that is.
Yeah.
But,
that was a tough one. Now Dan Skillings, senior from New Jersey, to the free throw line for the Bears, as it suddenly gets deathly quiet in here. He hits the free throw, 65-56. Baylor's largest lead today was 10, 44-34 at the 18:30 mark of the second half. And they are just moments away from possibly matching that right here. Skillings started his career at Cincinnati, played 99 games over 3 seasons for the Bearcats. And he hits that one to make it a 10-point game. 66-56.
Washington has responded when they've been down double digits. They need to find another notch.
We're hearing from Mitch Praxel, our SID, that Bryson Tucker is out for the night. So here's Diallo with the ball high on the left. Comes downhill behind the screen. Pull-up jumper mid-range. Rattles around and goes through. Zoom Diallo's got a dozen.
Yeah, touch off the front of the rim and gets the roll. Zoom Diallo, 4 fouls in all, out there doing work.
And quiets the crowd, 66-58. Handoff goes to Ogbim. Now it's Williams from the BU logo. Right side to Yesufu. Holds the ball high. Finds Powell's in there for the slam. Off the screen and roll.
Yeah, Frank Kepnon trying to shade high. Just allows the roll from Powell. No one there to protect the rim, and that's an easy 2.
Kepnon back to the basket. Handoff J.J. Mandequit. Mandequit lobs it up. Steinbach got held down. They don't call the foul. It's out of bounds.
Too much of a release there from J.J. Mandequit, leading Hannes, but leading him out of bounds.
Hannes is frustrated. Not the night he was hoping. 8 points, 11 rebounds in 26 minutes. Still pretty good numbers. But Dogs down by 10, 68-58. And on defense, here's Yesufu with the ball right side. Bouncing for Ratai at the top. Back over to Yesufu. Curls behind a screen. Floater up with the right hand. Falls off the rim. Good fight by Somerville. And then a foul on Baylor. They're going to give it to 44, Caden Powell. Transfer from Rice.
Nice inside position there from Lathan Somerville. Able to force the foul call going back.
So Mandequit's out, and Kimari Peterson back into the ball game, along with Zoom Diallo. Zoom's going to run the point. and bring it into the front court for the Huskies, who are down 10 with 6 minutes to go. They want to have another comeback like they did 6 years ago. Now's the time to start. Steinbach lost the ball on the way up.
They're going to call a foul on the way up.
Yep.
Boy, they're going to get Williams on the reach-in.
And that'll put Steinbach at the free throw line for 2. Just the 5th foul on Baylor in this second half. It's the second on Williams in the game. But an active shooting foul sends Hannes Steinbach to the line, where he can get back into double-double status, and more importantly, pull the Huskies within 8. First shot on the way, and he got it. So it's 68-59 for now. Here comes the second. Yes, sir. Double-double for Hannes Steinbach. 10 points, 11 rebounds. Dogs within 8. 68-60. Ratai has the ball high on the left side, brings it between the circles, defended by Steinbach. Good 30 feet out. Handoff goes to Williams, back to Ratai now. Push it right side to Ogbim, return it to Williams, top of the key. Wraparound pass goes to Powell, back to the basket, push right wing to Ogbim. Holds the ball high, returns it to Powell. Rejected at the rim by Hannes Steinbach on the dunk attempt. Ball is loose, picked up by Williams, and Williams dunks it in.
Coach Sprinkle wanted a foul there. He was begging for the foul call against Hannes, where he gave it up, but man, oh man.
Hannes did everything right on that play. Diallo, wraparound pass. Able to get it to the right wing. Yates fumbles it, picked up by Somerville in the lane. Good gentle touch by Somerville, who's got 7, and quiets the crowd as the Dogs pull within 8.
Lathan Somerville with that soft touch for the big fellow and that jump hook.
In the middle of chaos. Under 5 minutes to go. Ogbim fires a pass. Saved inbounds by Yesufu. Into the corner. Sidestep. Shoots a 3. Air ball. Caught under the basket by Zoom Diallo. Dogs can make it a 2-score game with a bucket right here. Diallo from the top. Giving it up to Somerville high on the right side. Diallo out top. Left side to Yates for 3. Bounces around and falls off. Rebound Yesufu.
I'm not sure that was the right one at that moment. I mean, you can get that shot anytime.
Here's Ogbim with the ball at the left point, behind a screen from Powell. Pull up 2, missed it. Ball tipped around, and a foul on Somerville going over the back of Powell.
That time, I mentioned a moment ago, Somerville did a nice job of getting inside position and forcing the foul. Well, that time, Powell had the inside position on Somerville, and Somerville went over the top.
17. Entering the game for your Bears.
So Caden Powell, 6'9", senior center from Waco, who played at Rice last year, was a big-time player, 10.4 points, 7.2 rebounds a game, and averaged a block a game as well. Explosive player that led Rice with 17 dunks and 32 blocks. He's going to go to the free throw line. The Baylor up by 8. It's a 1-and-1, and he hits the first. 71-62.
Somerville and Ratai must have gotten into it a little bit over there.
Had a little extra conversation
on the free throw line, because the officials went over and had a chat to them both. Coach taking out Somerville, bringing back Big Frank.
Frank lines up on the left block. His Powell gets ready to shoot a second free throw. Missed the shot. Ratai gets the rebound. Missed opportunity for the Huskies right there. And now they got a fresh 20 to milk. With 4:11 to go in the ball game. Williams drives, wraparound bounce pass intercepted by Wesley Yates. Ball is still loose on the floor, picked up by Williams for Baylor. They give it up to Carr. Carr goes in for the dunk. He missed it completely. Airballed the dunk and threw it straight out of bounds. It'll go back to Washington with 4 minutes to go in the ball game. Timeout on the floor. Baylor 71, Washington 62. Dogs got to hit the accelerator and make their move now. When we continue in a moment on the Washington Sports Network from Learfield.
At Banner Bank, we're big Husky fans, so we want you to know you can win big every day at Banner with the award-winning financial services you deserve from people you can trust. Visit any Banner Bank branch or find us at bannerbank.com and see why Banner Bank was named one of America's best regional banks by Newsweek and one of the 100 best banks in America by Forbes for the 8th year in a row. Banner Bank. Game-changing service, no trick plays. Banner Bank. Member FDIC.
The official airline of the Washington Huskies is your window to the world. Introducing Atmos Rewards, a new loyalty program by Alaska Airlines and Hawaiian Airlines. It's the #1 airline rewards program, according to U.S. News and World Report, and your invitation to explore over 1,000 global destinations with over 30 airline partners, including oneworld. Go to atmosrewards.com to sign up and start your journey today. That's atmosrewards.com.
For you Dub fans, Saturdays are purple and gold. And at the greatest setting in college football, connection is everything. T-Mobile delivers the best network. Whether you're sailgating from the lake or streaming from across the country, we've got more towers, a signal that goes farther, and the most advanced 5G. That's why purple reigns on the best network. T-Mobile, it's better over here.
Best mobile network in the U.S. according to Ookla Speed Test 1H 2025.
Well, it's been a really fun game. Great energy in this building down here in Waco, Texas. Baylor's been great hosts and feels like an NCAA tournament type of environment. Baylor leads by 9, 71-62. The Dogs will get a chance to host the Baylor Bears next year as part of this home and home. So they will return the favor by coming up to the Pacific Northwest. But if you want to come away from this one feeling really good, you're probably going to have to start making some outside shots.
Absolutely. Baylor has now, ratcheted up. The energy in the building is pretty good. It's been great atmosphere for college basketball, but the Huskies, they have got to be as locked in for these last 4 minutes as possible, Tony. And they got to make some shots.
2 for 16 from three-point range today. And we talked about an emerging three-point threat in Bryson Tucker. Well, he's out for the game with an undisclosed lower body injury that was sustained in the second half. And just a frustrating game where, again, Washington's never been completely outclassed in this thing. Largest Baylor lead has been 10, but every time the Huskies knock on the doorstep of getting it down to 3 or 4, something just tilts it right back in Baylor's favor. They're up by 9 right now.
Yeah, and now they're in a situation where, only 4 minutes to go, but Baylor's in the bonus. They themselves have only committed 5 team fouls, so you don't want to play scared if you're Washington defensively, but you just got to understand, what's happening here when you attack the basket.
Zoom Diallo leads the Huskies with 12 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists. They also have 10 points, 12 rebounds for Hannes Steinbach. Another double-double for him. J.J. Mandequit, 9 points, but his assist-to-turnover ratio today, 1-5. It's been a tough day for the freshman.
It has, and I think that is why I highlighted him, because I've been in his shoes where it's your first big road game.
Yep.
You're on TV. You've got a lot of pressure being the quarterback of the team, and he's tried really hard.
Here's Diallo with the ball, handing it off to Peterson beyond the three-point arc. He's got it right side. Throw out top to Yates behind a screen from Steinbach. Drives to the left block. Shot blocked away. Volleyball up into the air. The ball is loose and it's picked up by Ogden for Baylor. Clears it to Williams, racing down the floor, lays it up and in, and Baylor's up by 11.
Tony, this is where the small things in a game really come back to bite you. Yates has a chance at the rim. You don't knock it down. You give up a transition layup.
Diallo leans in, draws a foul, and he'll go to the line for 2. But it feels like that's happened probably 3 or 4 times in this game where you miss one opportunity at one end, then on the other end, Baylor capitalizes. And those 3 or 4 possessions, that's the difference in the game.
Absolutely. And you got to give Baylor credit for being able to turn defense and those 50-50 type situations into points.
Zoom Diallo going to the line. Bright green sneakers today. He puts that right toe on the dot. He concentrates, shoots, and left it long. Washington 8 of 12 at the free throw line. Baylor 73, Washington 62.
21 attempts for Baylor, just 12 for the Dogs.
Second attempt for Diallo. Good adjustment. Diallo out. Lathan Somerville back into the ball game. Margin is 10. 3:26 still to go. A lot of time.
Yeah.
Huskies going to press up a little bit here as the inbounds goes to Ratai. It's token pressure as Ratai will bring it across the timeline. Hand off to Williams. Reverse it to Ogden, and now it's Ratai. Setting things up from the top, defended by Somerville. Drives, lost the ball off his shin, out of bounds, and back to Washington. There's your chance.
Here's your chance. Now you got to execute here. And you don't have to force anything. Tony, still a lot of time, but if Kimari Peterson gets a look.
Scott Drew is saying he wants this reviewed.
So this should be a timeout, not just a review.
The last call was out of bounds to Washington.
He said that
Baylor
like Ron Burgundy.
is challenging the call.
So this is an official challenge.
He said out of bounds to Washington.
I'm Ron Burgundy. Baylor 73, Washington 63. Margin is 10. Scott Drew felt pretty convicted that, let's see, that ball goes off. Oh, it goes off Somerville's knee.
And then did Ratai touch it before it went out? Because it did hit Somerville's knee. But the question is, Ratai sticks his hand out. Does he touch the ball at the very, very end?
No. Peterson jars it loose. It goes off the knee of Ratai, then off the knee of Somerville, and then it rolls out of bounds, and you can't really tell whether or not this angle, maybe we can see if his hand touched. It's really close. Really, really close.
So what are you saying? Are you saying Husky ball or Baylor ball?
Well, the call on the floor
is
Husky ball. And if it's not conclusive, then it's supposed to be Husky ball.
Okay. I'm gonna go with, they're gonna say he touches the ball. Ratai touches the ball here at the very end when he sticks his hand out. I don't think he does, but I think they're gonna give it to Washington. We've been 0 for 3 so far in the challenges.
You think it's gonna be the wrong call in Washington's favor?
Exactly.
Okay. All right. Let's see. 73-63, Baylor by 10. And again, when you're looking for differences in this ball game,
Ruling on the 4 stands. Baylor is out of challenges and loses the timeout.
Jason, you're a seer, man. You can tell what's going on here.
It's just,
Look right there.
Yeah.
You just cannot tell whether or not he's touching the ball.
That's what I'm saying.
But you have to uphold the call on the floor. I mean, it's just too close to be able to tell.
So that should mean that Baylor timeout is taken away. They have 1 now.
Yep, and they lose their challenge. So now, as we said a moment ago, here's your chance for Washington. 73-63, 3:10 to go in the ball game. Inbounds goes to Zoom Diallo. Diallo across the BU logo, brings it into the front court, goes over to the right wing, tries to back his way in on Ratai. Back to the basket, kicks it to Yates for 3, thumped off the back of the rim, fought for and won by Steinbach, returns it to Diallo out top, coming downhill, high off the glass, it's through for 2, and Diallo's got 15 to lead the Huskies tonight, back within 8.
Boy, Zoom has had a bunch of those really high difficulty shots fading away. That one there, kissing it off the glass.
Isaac Williams with the ball, blanketed by Diallo defensively. Gives it up to Carr, return it to Williams at the top of the BU logo. 2:35 to go in the ball game. Dogs down by 8. Here's Williams finding Ratai on the right wing behind his screen. Brings it head of the circle with 5 on the shot clock. Right side to Ogbim. Little shimmy shake, trying to get off a free shot. Ball stripped loose by Peterson, picked up by Steinbach, and he shovels it to Mandaquit. Up the right sideline, Diallo. Cross court pass to Peterson. Extra pass to Yates out top. Hand off Mandaquit. Finds Peterson, left corner 3. Bullseye! And the Dogs are within 5. Kimari Peterson, clutch, baby. And with 2:10 to go in Waco, it's Baylor 73, Washington 68. Here come the Dogs.
Here come the Dogs. And you knew Kimari Peterson had at least one in that hand, and it needed to go down, and he had no hesitation there, Tony, to let that one fly.
There was a bullet in the chamber somewhere.
That's right.
And Kimari Peterson, the 8th time's the charm, starts 0 for 7 from three-point range. But what did we say time and time again about his career at East Tennessee State? He was Mr. Clutch. And Danny Sprinkle said he brought him to Montlake because there was no player in the transfer portal that was better in the final 4 minutes of games. And what what do you know, with 2:10 on the clock, there's Peterson rising to the challenge.
And I tell you, it was catch and shoot. I mean, he had his feet set, pivoted, went right up with it. And that's what you want. You want a guy that has no conscience when it comes to having missed his first 7 and still ready to shoot it again.
Dogs down by 11 just a minute and 16 seconds ago. Now on a 6-0 run to more than cut the deficit in half. 73-68. Got to get a stop right here.
Well,
Huskies huddling up.
They have not cowered in the moment. I mean, even down 10, double digits, Washington has certainly fought back.
Be interesting to see how the Huskies choose to defend here, whether or not they ratchet up the pressure with 2:10 still to play. Maybe you lay back and try to play defense in the half court.
And they're showing man-to-man full court right here.
They are. Inbounds will go to Yesufu, the McDonald's All-American, true freshman, who's defended by Wesley Yates. And Yesufu across the timeline in the front court. Ball jarred loose and picked up by Ogbim. He's got it high on the right with 2 minutes to go. True freshman J.J. Mandequit is blanketing him defensively. Crossover by Ogbim. Now gets by Mandequit to the rim, throws it up, missed the shot, rebound, Hannes Steinbach for the Huskies. Dogs down by 5 with 1:46 to go and trying to complete the comeback. Kimari Peterson finds J.J. Mandequit high on the right side. He gets a play from Danny Sprinkle and sets the offense into motion. Dribbles over to the right wing, throws top of the key, Peterson for 3! Missed it wide left. Rebound Yesufu under the basket for the Baylor Bears. Here come the Bears into the front court with 1:28 to go. Ahead to Skillings, reverse layup, missed the shot. Whistle and a foul on Steinbach.
Got him on the lower body. Boy, going back to that last offensive possession, they got the play that they wanted. It was a double screen coming up for Kimari Peterson, and it was well defended. I think he had it in his mind he was going to shoot that one no matter what. You saw he had to double clutch it, and that's why he shot the air ball.
Yeah, Cameron Carr is the very long 6'5" Tennessee transfer who was defending him, had a hand in his face, and now Skillings to the free throw line with 1:23 left in the ballgame. Baylor 73, Washington 68, and he missed the first of 2 free throws, so it's going to stay a 2-score game no matter what, so long as you get the rebound.
Yeah, that's right. You got to get the rebound. You've got to block out in this situation. Somerville coming out, so Washington playing a little small right now with just Hannes Steinbach as the big.
Wesley Yates is the other one on the block for the Huskies as Skillings holds the ball on his left hip. Now he takes a couple dribbles, bends the knee, shoots with the right hand, and hits. Baylor 74, Washington 68 with 1:23 to go here in Waco. Inbound, Zoom Diallo across the timeline. Coming downhill, up with the right hand, missed it back to the rim, tipped out, grabbed by Mandequit, left to the key. Cross-court pass to Peterson, pump fake on a shot, gives it Wesley Yates. High on the right side with 1:10 to go. He drives the right baseline, under the basket, bounces for Diallo. Diallo across the Big 12 logo, gives it Mandequit, pump fake on the 3, 20 on the shot clock.
Shot clock.
It resets. And they're going to have to go to the monitor to see how much time should be left in this possession with 1:01 to go.
They're saying 10 on the clock now.
And that really takes your offense out of rhythm, doesn't it?
It absolutely does, especially because, even though there were some missed shots, Washington was making Baylor scramble right there. And usually in those situations, somebody can come free.
74-68, Dogs down by 6, 1:01 to go. 10 on the shot clock. Kimari Peterson to enter it from left of the window. Lob goes to Steinbach. Handoff Peterson on the left wing. Out top to Diallo with 6, 5, 4 on the shot clock. Diallo, mid-range jumper. And they're going to get him for a push-off with the chicken wing. That's his 5th. Zoom Diallo's night is done with 15 points.
Boy, Zoom Diallo, he didn't make the shot, but obviously the 5th foul on Zoom Diallo is going to end his night. That's a tough call in that situation. Like I said, he didn't make the shot, but that is a tough call. And outside of the fouls, Zoom played a really good ball game. 15 points, as you mentioned, 6 of 11 from the floor.
And when buckets were tough to come by, he was reliable for the Husky offense. And now you're going to get a foul on Wesley Yates.
Number 9, Wesley Yates.
Wesley wants to ask for a review. He's saying he pulled him. Wesley's saying he grabbed me in the head.
Yeah, Yesufu is the one who's going to the free throw line, and Wesley Yates is saying there was some extra stuff that the refs didn't see, but Tunde Yesufu will go back to the free throw line. With Baylor up 74-68 and only 55 seconds left in the game. Even a one made free throw here will make it tough for the Dogs, but he missed the first. And Baylor 16 of 24 at the free throw line, keeping the door cracked open for Washington. Still a two-possession game for now. Yesufu, second free throw. Good. 75-68.
Nobody's here to inbound it for Washington.
Yep. J.J. Mandequit looking for a teammate.
And now Baylor's going to press up a little bit.
Inbounds goes to Mandequit. Mandequit across the timeline, into the front court. Brings it over to the right point. Looking for a teammate. Crossover, pass into the corner. Somerville for three. Halfway down, popped out. Rebound Carr for Baylor. Foul on Wesley Yates. 41.3 on the clock. This one's starting to slip away.
Yeah, good looking shot though from Somerville. Maybe not the person you'd expect to be shooting it, but he had an open look right there, and that thing just popped out.
I mean, that was like 2/3 of the way down the cylinder. Just had a little too much backspin on it. Spit out. And now Baylor trying to put this game away at the free throw line. They lead 75-68 on a night where Washington goes 3 of 20 from three-point range. Washington out-rebounding Baylor by 10 today. Doing a good job taking care of the ball in certain situations. It's just Carr at the line, making it an 8-point game by hitting that free throw. You can make it a 9 by hitting the next one. 76-68. One thing that'll stand out is just the number of fouls committed. 21 for Washington in this game. You got 4 on Yates, 4 on Somerville. Diallo's fouled out with 15 points. Second free throw good, 77-68. Huskies up the floor. Into the front court, J.J. Mandequit draws a foul on Yesufu, and he'll go to the free throw line. I think that's the 7th. Yes, 1 and 1.
Yeah, 1 and 1. 17. The student section really wants Zoom Diallo to sit down. They're waiting for him to sit down so they can say sit down, but he's not doing it.
He's not doing it. He's not giving them what they want. Mandequit hits the front end of the 1 and 1.
37 seconds. I'm not sure you're going to see him sit down.
No, not at this point. Second free throw on the way for J.J. Mandequit. Oh, just here Rensher getting ready to check into the ball game. Second free throw up, missed it. Rebound Carr. And now Mandequit will commit a foul with 34.3 to go. And Rensher goes back to the bench.
Yeah, I'm surprised maybe a little bit. Not that they fouled, but that they didn't try to, well, I guess you can't set your press. You can't set your press if you don't make the free throw.
Right.
At the line for your Bears, number 43.
So Cameron Carr, sophomore from Eden Prairie, Minnesota. Played 4 games last year at Tennessee, then had a thumb injury that ended his season. He goes to the line, hits the first. It's a very talented Baylor team. These guys have been in an NCAA tournament time after time after time. They've been to 10 out of the last 11 NCAA tournaments and won a national championship in there. So,
well, you got to remember when Scott Drew arrived here, this program was in shambles.
In shambles.
I mean, that's not an overstatement by any stretch of the imagination.
No, dealing with scandal.
Yeah.
Dealing with all sorts of problems.
And he's done a remarkable job to rebuild not only the image of Baylor, but to basically, put Baylor basketball on the map. I mean, he's done a tremendous job.
Yeah, I mean, not a historic power when he took over the job in 2003. And Danny Sprinkle earlier this week talking about Scott Drew and Baylor as like, this is not a team, this is a program. And even though that they've got a whole lot of new faces on the floor. They recruit to a style. They've got a system. You know what type of players they're going to have, extremely athletic. And that's what Danny Sprinkle's trying to build. Yeah, he's trying to do the exact same thing. Gib Arnold is director of player personnel, who spent so much time with the Boston Celtics, helping build a franchise that ultimately ended up winning an NBA championship. They're trying to build that same type of program at the University of Washington. It takes time.
It does. And, you look at those first 3-4 years of Scott Drew's record, not winning seasons. And then he's been on a tear, nearly a 20-win season almost every year for, 17, 18 years straight.
Yeah, people forget. Such quick strings nowadays. Coach Mike Krzyzewski didn't have a great record his first 5 years. John Wooden didn't have a good record his first 5 years. It takes time to build it. As Carr's free throw is missed, rebound Hannes Steinbach, 32 seconds to go. Dogs down by 9. Here's Kimari Peterson giving it to Amanda Quitt. Out of the corner, looking for help at the free throw line. Shovels it to Wesley Yates. Pump fake coming downhill. They'll give him the open layup. He missed it. Rebound grabbed by Caden Powell. And Danny Sprinkle will call off the Dogs. Yesufu across the timeline. Shot clock is dark, and the final 10 seconds will tick off to the delight of the fans at Foster Pavilion in Waco, Texas. A hard-fought first loss of the year for the Washington Huskies as they fall to a team that has all the potential in the world to be an NCAA tournament contender. Baylor gets a 78-69 win over the Washington Huskies. I gotta say, JM, I don't think the Dogs have a lot to hang their head about. This was a really good fight.
It absolutely was. And again, on the road, your first true test of the year. I thought Washington, played a really, really good game. They're going to look at, obviously, the shooting, but you're also going to look at the Bryson Tucker injury and say, we're playing with a much shorter bench after we're already down Desmond Claude. So with the availability of players, I thought they played really well.
Yeah, definitely hopeful that Desmond Claude can be back on Friday as the Huskies head to Pullman to take on rival Washington State. The final score tonight, Baylor 78, Washington 69. Our postgame show is coming up next.
Raise a glass to the Dogs with the new Husky Craft Pack. Brimming with Pacific Northwest flavor, enjoy a lineup of amazing local brews and ciders at Husky Stadium. Georgetown Brewing, run by dogs who make sure you have darn tasty beer. Two Towns Cider, crafted in the Pacific Northwest since 2010. And Seattle's Elysian Brewing Company, makers of Space Dust and 30 years of bold flavors and award-winning beers. Get the greatest of local beers all season long at the greatest setting in college football. Please drink responsibly.
This holiday season, give the gift of joy. Les Schwab Tires is making that easy by bringing their toy drive to Washington's men's basketball game against UCLA on December 3rd. Donate a new unwrapped toy at the Les Schwab table on the concourse, where they'll be collecting toys for children of all ages. Your donation will stay in your community and support families in Western Washington.
Your home for Washington basketball.
Into the corner, 3. There's another one.
That was fantastic ball movement.
Husky basketball from Learfield.
Progressive knows not all rides are smooth. Meet Sarah. She loves her motorcycle. What she doesn't love is when it suddenly rains. As she sits underneath a bridge waiting for it to stop, she grows quite fond of the graffiti on the overpass. She really likes the one with John Hart's Claire and wonders if they're still together. Not every ride is smooth, but Progressive has your back. Get an online quote in as little as 3 minutes and see if you can save with America's #1 motorcycle insurer. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in D.C.
UW Medicine is the only health system in Washington where a top-rated medical school and a research powerhouse are directly connected to your care. That means the doctors caring for you are the same people advancing medical research and teaching the next generation of outstanding physicians. From wellness checks to complex surgeries, we're committed to providing you with the best care every day. UW Medicine, a higher degree of health care.
This is the post-game show on the Washington Sports Network from Learfield. Let's head back to courtside. Here's Tony Castricone.
All right, welcome back to Waco, where the final score tonight, Baylor 78, Washington 69. Yeah, definitely disappointing, Jay Ham, to come out of here with a loss. Washington falls to 2-1 on the season.